You're listening to M.T.V.B. Podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast, a podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects. That is movies,
TV, video games,
and board games.
I'm your host, Anthony, as well as most people know me as the Ant-Man, and welcome to this week's episode where we're going to continue what we're doing for Season 6 on our video game episodes, where we talk about those top 5 video games of certain consoles. This week's episode is about, obviously, if you heard from the beginning bit, the Sega Megadrive, or the Genesis if you're American. I don't know why, for example. Anyway, joining me around the table is a bunch of guys that love to talk about Sega Megadrive games. Who are you, sir?
I'm Chris. Thanks for having me back again.
Welcome back. So you did the N64 episode. You had to take me back for this one.
This is taking me back.
Nice. We've also got the man behind the Meeple Minded podcast, sir. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
How are you, Jason? Yeah, I was going to say, hi, Jason.
No, just the man.
Just the man, the myth, the legend of Meeple Minded.
I'm confused why I'm talking about something electronic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. First time here for video games.
It is.
Nice.
Probably be the last, I'd imagine.
No. We'll see how it goes. We've also got, obviously, another one from a board game podcast here. This is obviously the professional gamer himself, Mr. Wayne, on a video game episode.
On a video game episode. It's kind of like I went back in time. You know how most people went from analog to digital? I went the other way around. So
nice.
Like I play so many more board games than I play video games.
I strictly remember in Season 1 you said you've never come on the other episode apart from board games.
I haven't done, no, but now I'm on a different one. So that's good. But I love all of this stuff. I mean, all of the consoles. I was very lucky. I got all of the consoles. And so great to do these. Great to do these. We'll talk about which one.
And I can't thank you guys enough for doing this again. Thanks very much for doing this.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Obviously, while we've got you two here from your own podcast, please plug it and tell people where they can listen to them.
So there, I guess for those guys out there that do actually play board games, I am Jason. I am from the Meeple Minded podcast. We talk about all things tabletop gaming. New episodes every Tuesday and a new show every single Thursday. Find us on any good audio streaming platform.
Nice.
Yep. And some bad ones, as we talked about before.
Oh, yeah, and some bad ones.
Yeah, but no, mostly good ones.
I'm Pod Wars.
Yeah, Pod Wars. No, I'm Wayne. I'm from the Board Stupid podcast. Board Stupid spelled B-O-A-R-D. You can find our stuff wherever you can find your favourite podcasts. And we've got YouTube content as well, and video reviews and interviews and industry stuff. So go check that out. We'd love it if you will. We release every single Sunday. And get it wherever you can find it.
Nice. Here we go then. Yeah. Thank you guys. Mega Drive games.
Yeah.
How are our lists for this one?
All right, actually. Not bad.
Yeah.
I got to like a short list of like 10 to 15 games, I think it was. But then getting it down was difficult, mostly because like a lot of stuff I haven't played in like 20 years. And so it's a bit more, it's a bit difficult.
Chris, I heard you had a bit of a hard time with this one.
Literally, still cutting in the garden. I was like, I'm in an hour in. It was a hard list because I thought I had... it was only those, and then I went through them, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Was you doing a Chris Jericho? You just made the list.
Yeah, you made the list. I just went through what was released on the UK because I didn't want to get confused.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh my god, I had that. I had that."
And I'm sure there's going to be ones we're going to mention and be like, "Oh fuck, that as well."
Fuck. Yes, man.
Jason,
100%.
how about you?
I really struggled because I really had to break it down into categories because I couldn't pick. I got it down to about 15 or 20 as Wayne did, and then went, do you know what? Most of my memories from the Sega Mega Drive is actually of a sentimental thing. Is like it was a family thing. Gaming in my family,
definitely.
It was a family time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I very rarely played games where my family weren't present. So actually, a lot of my decisions more came from a sentimental value as to why I remember those games. They may not be the best games in the world, but they have a special place in my heart and in my
your
memories.
favourite.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I like that.
It's your list, mate.
I mean,
that's the thing.
I started to think like that, and then I was like, then I thought about it. I was like, Chris, you were 10. It was like, no, you had no category. It was like you could choose a game because that box looked cool.
The box art on these games were fucking awesome. You've got to admit.
And I thought, do you know what? This is going. I'm just going whatever I played the most and that I enjoyed.
Yeah,
you know. So it wasn't like, this game had a good storyline. Because I watched a couple of reviews and I was like, I don't even think I got past the first level on that then.
No,
but
no memory cards back then.
That would be
either.
an honourable mention. And I was like, bloody hell.
Yeah.
You just don't know where you are on games. And I was like, they were so long or short.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I know how much fun I played for them. Years. They weren't days or weeks. They were years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the other thing that sticks in my mind with most Mega Drive games was I played every single game with how quickly can I get through the level?
Oh, really? Like just speed running.
Just
speed running before there was a speed run. Nice. So, as normal, we'll do some of the questions and then we'll get to our top 5. So, very quickly, your history with the console itself. Was it something you bought? You kind of went into it already, Jason, but was it something you guys had on day one? Are you picked up recently as Retro Hunters or...
Go on. No, go on. Then I'll just finish off. Obviously, as I said, mine was a family thing. We didn't really have much money growing up, so we didn't get it when it first came out. I think we got it when it came down in price. And as I said, because we were only ever really gaming as a family, I didn't get to do it on my own. So it was like 1 hour a day if I was lucky. Yeah. But usually it was at weekends. So yeah, we didn't get it straight away, but I will say, even to this day, it's the one console I had from when I was a kid.
Sure,
I've still got it.
Nice. Nice.
I did try it out earlier today, and it didn't work.
Is it the Mega Drive 1 or 2?
Oh, the original.
Yeah, I think it's a better one. Come on.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore, but luckily I had the little backup of the modern day mini one that has, like, stupid amount of games already stored on it. So, yeah, I've had it from day... I'll class it as day one, but it wasn't release day.
No, of course not. But you had it way back when it was out there.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Anyone else?
Yeah, I had it... I think I had it at the same time as the Super Nintendo. And actually, weirdly enough, I think a couple of friends of mine had it as well, or at least one friend. And I sort of want to riff on what Jason said. I sort of played this a lot with friends and family. So it's either like with my brother playing video games on one console, or we'd be around a mate's house and playing games at their console. So I owned it, and then we had friends that owned it as well. So we played a lot of Mega Drive. We played that sort of whole era, like Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, and then as it was crossing into PS1, and even before that, like NES and Master System, that whole era I remember very fondly, and like everyone that I knew had at least one of those things. So you got to play a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Nice, Chris.
See, I had the Mega Drive 2. Yeah. I liked the Mega Drive 2 because it was a little bit smaller and it had red buttons.
Cheaper as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think
the red buttons.
The red buttons was the selling point.
Yes,
I liked the red. And it was like, I believe, it was definitely Christmas, and it was 92 or 93, I want to say, because I must have been about between 8 or 10, roughly.
That makes sense.
But I know it kind of said to Chris and Sarah, which is my sister. And bearing in mind, my sister's like...
It was just going to be Chris's. I think where this is going.
She had no chance.
Yeah, she was
like, it just had to be on the box, right? And it was like... I think it was one of the first times I've ever gone absolutely schizo, open a present. Like pure rage.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Rage happiness.
It was absolute, you know, those YouTube videos you see? Yeah, that was pretty much me having that. And it was just like...
Amazing.
From that, I was sold.
Yeah.
You know, loved it.
Amazing.
Absolutely loved it.
Nice. I mean, mine's sort of similar to Wayne, because I was the guy who had the Super Nintendo, but my mate had the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
So I only had the Super Nintendo because I was heavily into like Street Fighter at the time. I fucking loved fighting games back then. So, but he was the guy who my brother's got the Mega Drive. Do you want to try it? And obviously a bunch of games. I'm sure we're going to mention later on anyway. I was just like, wow. It's like, I think that was my first taste of different consoles as well. It's like, I wasn't aware of the console wars. We saw it back now sort of thing, but it's just like, now I need to save up to get this as well now, you know. Yeah. My parents would be like, right, if you save up half, we'll do the other half, you know. That old chestnut, so it took me like 2 years. That's when the Mega Drive 2 came out, so I ended up having that in the end.
Yeah, that console war was savage. Like, they were serious. Like,
Yeah.
Nintendo and Sega went at it like
Big
that whole, throughout the whole 90s. Crazy.
Not as big a war of me asking for another console for a different brand.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm happy with this Mega Drive, but I really want a Super Nintendo, man.
But do you remember it was Sega's
When you could hit
advertising slogan? They were like, Sega does what Nintendo don't.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Yeah.
that was so
Sega
cool.
absolutely annihilated them.
Yeah, in the 90s.
back when you could actually name the opponent.
Yeah.
Like,
It was epic.
That was a crazy ball.
Yeah.
I think so as well. That's quite.
But that's what got me. That's what it was a little bit more edgier. I was getting to that.
It was
I was
edgy.
growing out of that. Everything a bit more colourful and a bit more. It was a bit more darker on the Mega Drive.
That's right.
And seeing as we're on that subject, I was actually going to bring a question up about that, the whole marketing thing. Do you all remember? Obviously, you remember it quite well. But do you remember how it sort of aimed it towards that you were cool if you had a Sega?
Yeah, it
like
was
you were the
definitely
cool
that.
kids,
It was
right?
definitely that.
Do you have
yeah.
any memories of that at all? Like, did you ever go through that at all, or anything? Or
Well, Mean Machine Sega was the actual magazine,
Right.
which was the best magazine because you got free posters
Yeah.
and everything. Whereas the Nintendo, you could. It was a bit of a rubbish.
yeah,
Bit of a rubbish magazine. So
Yeah.
I always associated because you got cool, massive Sonic posters.
yeah.
or-
Posters back then were just that's what
They
bought
were
me
so-
magazines.
they were
Made me
so-
buy magazines.
They were
That's right,
graphic
yeah.
art. It was
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, so good.
I remember having like a massive Mortal Kombat 2 poster with
They
like
looked
some
edgy.
actor dressed
Yeah.
as
You didn't have like a
as
toadstool.
Scorpion. It was fucking awesome.
or like a
Yeah.
a toadstool or like a what was it Yoshi? You know, something
Kiddie shit.
Yeah, kiddie shit. You're like, no, give that to my sister. You can have it's Peach. You can have
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the
definitely it.
interesting things, actually, because I mean, I'm a little bit younger
Sure, yeah.
than
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah.
so I'm obviously in a slightly different age range when it comes to the games, which will make for an interesting list. I
Okay,
think. But
intriguing.
but like I was a huge Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
But obviously I was the I was the target market because sort of thing in '92 I would have been 5.
Wow.
So it's like a lot of the games that I was thinking back to today. I was like, I did play them, but this was much further down the line after they'd come out. And yes, I grew to like them, but actually the ones that I remember with the sentimental value are going to be ones aimed at younger
Sure.
people. So that will be interesting.
Okay, but it's nice to see from, like you said, not that generation. It's good to hear your perspective of it.
What came out in 88?
89 Mega Drive came out.
So
Yeah.
I would have been
9.
2.
Yeah, but wow.
See, I wouldn't have thought that. I thought you were older. I thought you were the same
I know.
age as us, sort of thing.
No,
Yeah.
it's not very often that I sit here and I'm the young one.
Yeah, I would have been like 6 or 7. Yeah, it's crazy.
So with the Sega Mega Drive itself, was this your first time with Sega, or did you guys ever have go through the Master System Game Gear or anything like that at all? Or
My cousin, my nan had a massive house, so we had like different areas that we could all sort of live in. And my cousin had like a Nintendo and a Master System with like Alex the Kid built in.
yes, that's what I had. Yes, that's right. You just turned it on. You didn't need to put a cartridge or anything in, did you?
And he also had the Nintendo, and it was only across the hallway, so it was technically in the same house. So I always got to play it.
Nice.
But yeah, the Nintendo, the Mega Drive was the first one that was physically. I had a Amiga 500. That was my first ever computer,
Yeah.
and I loved that. But my first ever gaming console was a Mega Drive.
Nice.
Should we just call it Nintendo for the rest of this
Nintendo.
episode? Support
Nintendo.
Sega for this
Exactly.
one.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Yeah, so the Master System, I had friends that had
You
that.
did, yeah?
Yeah. So I definitely had access to a Master System. I don't think I owned a Master System. But I do definitely remember that Alex the Kid being built in. That was cool.
Yeah.
That's one I had access to, yeah.
I'm the same. I remember having access to a Master System. I don't think it was one that we owned. I also remember having access to was it the Commodore 64?
Yeah. That's what my first.
And I
ever
know
console,
that we definitely owned that, but I don't know which one we owned first. I mean, the logic behind it would tell me that it was the Commodore 64 that we had first, but
then it was like the Amigas and Spectrums and all that afterwards, wasn't it?
500.
That's it.
But then, I would argue that again, memory's hazy because of my age at the time, but I would probably say that the Mega Drive was the first that we actually.
Yeah. Did you know? Did any of you know anyone with a Game Gear? I mean, I had the Game Boy, but I don't think I know anyone apart from Phil and Scott. Obviously,
Game Gear. I think my cousin had a Game Gear, but that's about it. Yeah, I didn't really get to. I remember I got to play it a little bit, and I remember the battery got caned. Like,
You just PTSD. You've done me.
Oh no!
Well, for Game Gear.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Yeah. No, I was getting into my nan's car, and we were like in a rush, and I put the Game Gear on top of the roof.
Oh shit!
Oh
And then we got in, and then
no.
obviously we driven off,
and it wasn't there anymore.
and I lost my Game Gear. I know. And then obviously, pure.
We won't be having Chris on that episode.
No, because I can do the games.
Yeah.
It just
Do you know, it's funny you
I
bring
was
up about
killed
the Game Gear, because I never had one, but one day I found one at the side of a road.
It was Chris's.
the Game Gear actually, I thought was better than the Game Boy. It was in colour. It looked better. It held better. The games were better.
Yeah.
And I'm Sega all the way.
Yeah, it was a way more powerful machine. Yeah,
It looked better.
Yeah, it did.
And
Yeah.
that kind of black and white that I like to.
Yeah.
Cheapness.
Yeah. It was a beast though, but I do remember it used to tan batteries.
Yes,
It did.
yeah, that's what I remember.
It really
Yeah,
did, yeah.
But then you used to get the rechargeable ones.
That's right.
With
Yeah.
the
We
that
sit
was
there
the power
next.
back.
wasn't there like an
Next to it,
add-on where you can
charger.
plug in a TV aerial onto it and you actually watch TV
Yeah,
with it or
TV
something?
aerial, magnifying glass. I don't know who copied who, but someone someone was copying someone.
With it.
there was that generation. I know it's not about this episode, but there was that generation where your handheld console ended up being bigger than your fucking console that you.
That's it, yeah,
it's-
absolutely.
You could like
You should so much
speakers on
sit
it.
on it.
And
I
like a light. And
I always wanted the TV thing.
Yeah.
But I had a mate who had one of those pocket TVs.
Ah,
And
right. So you didn't use
the
it on the Game
idea
Gear.
was better because it was like
yeah,
just holding up your hand. You could never see the picture.
I swear we can get the football up somehow. My last question was, again, you don't have to own it, but just have some experience with them, was the add-ons for the Mega Drive. Did anyone have you tried the 32X or the Mega CD at all? Me, personally, I never got to play on those. I only saw the demos that was in the video game shops at the time. But have you guys ever had any experiences with the Mega Drive add-ons at all? Or
No, definitely not the Mega CD. The only type of add-on that I've had experience with was other Mega Drive games that you could plug in on top of that Mega Drive game.
Oh, yeah.
It was like what some games had, like were expandable.
That's right, yeah.
With a different cartridge. So that I've played with, but
Okay.
not with the other tech.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm in the same ballpark as you. Like the games that you could expand, yes, I definitely had experience with those, but nothing
Nothing
that
with the
actually
extra
upgraded
add-ons.
the console.
Yeah.
No, I did remember looking at the Mega CD going, this is going to make it.
Yeah.
I was kind of blown away,
I never
to be
got to
honest.
play it. I haven't.
You
I
get
don't-
to see movie, you play
I
with
don't
movie
even
characters.
think I
and
ever
stuff.
saw one in real life. I don't
Yeah.
even-
Mega CD.
Yeah.
I don't get to see one in Was it JC? Or was it? Was it JVC? They used
JVC or something.
JVC.
There was a shop that closed down.
Yeah, they had a demo of it, didn't they? But you never really got to like.
But yeah, I never got to see it. Never got to.
I think I always remember that sort of stuff was more popular in the States than it was here.
Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah.
I think the competition had heated up here a bit more by the time that kind of stuff was introduced. And I think by then it was too little too late for them.
That's right. Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
PlayStation
probably.
was in the works when
Yeah.
it was built, wasn't it? So they were
Yeah.
trying to get ahead of the game, weren't they? So,
exactly.
but yeah,
Yeah,
it was all waiting for
I
that.
think people knew it was coming, and therefore it was like, well, we might
Well,
as well just wait
I think
for
it was
that.
way before because obviously the Saturn came to rival the
PlayStation,
PlayStation,
yeah.
wasn't it? And I think it
Yeah.
was.
But even that got released before the PlayStation.
Didn't
So
you
just
have,
they
like-
rushed it.
Wasn't there a Jaguar as well?
Yeah,
And like an
Atari
XJ.
Jaguar.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got-
and an XJ or something. Oh, you like
They just didn't have the software to support it. Not good stuff.
No,
no, or the games to.
Yeah.
the games
Exactly.
to support it either. Was that
Exactly. What did you think of the controller?
the Mega Drive controller?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked
Loved
it.
it.
I liked it. Apart from fighting games are annoying on it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
because it was in a line. I always thought it was a bit weird. It was kind of like a weird boomerangy shape.
that's right. Yeah,
yeah, but the three buttons in a line. A, B,
I
and
liked
C.
it because the roll
True, when you
For-
could roll from
with fighting games, the roll worked for me better.
the
Like
line, yeah, and then like the shoulders.
Whereas
Playing Street Fighter on
I
the
found
Mega Drive
Nintendo was like
controllers,
just a.
Yeah.
Not so much on the Super Nintendo.
What was the sound?
Little clicks.
Wait, did the Mega Drive have shoulder buttons?
No,
No,
It didn't, did it?
No. It did release a 6-button controller.
Oh, it did.
PlayStation
but
didn't
that's
even
when
have
it did
shoulder
have it.
buttons at first, did it?
Which one?
The PlayStation.
Yes, it did.
Did it?
Had
Yeah,
4.
shoulder buttons, yeah.
Did it always have that?
Yeah,
4, yeah. Never had analog 6.
yeah. I thought, yeah, correct. It didn't at first.
And then DualShock came out, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's me done for questions. If no one has anything to throw into, we will just go straight to the top five.
Oh, yes.
Does anybody know why it was called Genesis over Mega Drive?
No, go on, go.
No, I don't know. That's what I was I thought we might have some.
I thought you were going to go somewhere with
I
that.
don't know. That was a question. That was a question. That was me asking a question.
Why don't you Google it whilst we to do the top fives?
Oh, it's fine.
How many American listeners do you have, Ant? Don't want to offend too many people.
I without looking at my phone, I won't
Write
hold
your
it
name
from
down
here,
in the
but
comments.
yeah, comment below, let us know.
I was going to say, have a
Super
look
Bowl
later.
Sunday.
Have a look later, and if it's going to offend a lot of people, take it out. It's because they're too fucking stupid to speak English.
Oh,
Jason, you can't offend an entire nation on the
Thank you,
podcast.
Jason, for making me lose all my American fans.
luckily, it's lucky the Americans aren't easily offended.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, luckily they could find you on the internet. So
Sorry, they can build a wall and then I won't be able to get in.
Let's go to the top fives then.
It's time for a top five.
Right, so the rules for this one obviously is for the games of the console, but you can also have games that ran better on the Mega Drive, because there were some games that were out on the SNES as well as this, but if you felt it ran better on the Mega Drive, it does count as a part of your top five. Also, for those people listening, there's four of us in the building. There is 500 of Mega Drive games. So we're going to mention 20. If we don't mention yours, sorry, get your own podcast and you can do your own. Number five. Who would like to go first?
Not me.
Not me.
It's gone, Chris. You go first this time. Yeah, you go first.
Okay, right. Number five. Right. It's a racing game. This one was hard because, like, number six, it was so close. It's going to be a proper honourable mention. But number five, Micro Machines.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Good shout.
Absolutely loved it.
Such
like,
a great game.
playing on the kitchen table and like I think it was a pool table and a science thing, and I think there was a boat and a pond area.
What was the bathtub one?
Or it might be the bathtub.
The bathtub
yeah.
was a good.
But literally just having so much fun, getting stuck in jam, like.
And then the screen kills you, didn't it? Because it ran at you. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
That's it.
Literally, because you always had your mates coming over for, play after school. That was classic.
Yes.
Play
Now-
after school.
After school, yeah.
Did the Mega Drive have a adapter for more players?
No, I think it was.
I only remember two.
Yeah, I think it
Was it only just the two?
I think it was only two.
At least I never remember playing it as like two, like in beat 'em ups and stuff. And
I mean, I was sort of looking at quite a few games today, and the maximum player count I saw was 2. So one would assume
yeah,
that it was a maximum player count of
I think it
2.
was only
Yeah,
two, mate. Yeah.
because wasn't the 64 the first to have 4?
Yeah.
Because they were then PlayStation like, fuck.
Yeah, PlayStation 1 only had two, didn't it? The first PS1
Yeah.
only had two.
Yeah, because
Because everyone would start putting 4
Yeah.
after the Mega Drive. That's my logic.
Yeah. N64 was the. Yeah.
But then 2, but you knew that was the maximum, so you waited your turn. It's
That's
not like
true.
nowadays when you go, how many players is it? 2. Only 2.
yeah.
We're up to an 8-player game now. It's like, no.
What do you mean I can't play 60 people online?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this one was
Two players was our 60 players.
this was one of those games that you could go, oh, what games you got with your mates? And you go, Micro Machines was an easy one to
Yeah.
just put on, play.
Have a quick race, yeah.
Play until dinner time.
I remember, is that the one where you're like skating over like school equipment in one
Yeah.
of the levels?
And it's like, boom, boom.
Do you know what? I think Micro Machines would still work today if
Like,
they
Micro
like up the graphics and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I was screaming all of your PlayStation episode when you're talking about the multi-tap and you're like, any other games? I'm going, Micro Machines! Micro Machines!
The multi-tap. What an invention,
Oh,
eh?
I loved it, yeah. And the multi-tap would have worked for the Mega Drive as well, because... But I remember the Mega Drive was... I got a carry case, like full padded military
Nice.
case in it. Yeah, the power pad.
That full works.
It allowed you to carry like 4 games, which were probably about 10 games if you took them out of the boxes, but they were beefy video boxes, weren't they?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I love those
They were
boxes for
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
The massive manuals used to get in there. The artwork on those fucking covers was
They
just
give you-
amazing, mate. I'd love to have some
Some
of
of
those.
the books gave you like notes,
Yeah.
like pads, so you could write your notes
Yeah.
or your cheats. That's where you
right.
put your cheats.
Your cheats
Put your
Or it-
passwords in or something, yeah.
Oh yeah, you
right.
put your passwords in with those little clips, the little slide-on clips. Oh, I love it. But now it just takes up too much room.
Yeah.
No room for board games.
We did it back then. How can we not do it now?
I know, right? But yeah, that was
Does make you wonder,
Micro
doesn't
Machines
it?
was great, mate.
Anything else on that?
No, because it kind of gets into a blur. Because I'm like, then
Did it carry on after the 16-bit era?
I know
Did it go to like PlayStation?
It definitely went to PlayStation because we used to play it a lot, didn't we?
Yeah. It was just a great racing game. I really like the physics in it as well.
It was really good.
arcadey.
But you had it did have like special powers where you could like get like a grabber or
I remember that. That's
or
it.
Like a magnet.
And it flipped them over so they were behind you instead. Yeah.
Yeah. So it had little special powers and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I got in trouble because me and my mates did play it. And we loved that game. But then we decided to recreate it in, for real on the kitchen floor. So it was jam and shit everywhere.
Oh, mate.
That's just breakfast.
Incredible. That's amazing. Love that.
Good shout. Shall I go next, or do you want to go next?
You can go next. Yeah.
We'll make it Jason go last. Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice. Right, my number 5, short and easy, because I thought it was better on this console for one reason: the blood version, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Not Mortal Kombat 2?
No,
Mortal Kombat,
I do love Mortal Kombat 2, but Mortal Kombat 1 for the Mega Drive was the reason why you bought a Mega Drive, because you couldn't get it anywhere else with blood, unless you went to the arcade, of course.
Of course.
Which I kind of felt very sad because the port for the Super Nintendo is pretty good. It's nearly arcade heavy if it wasn't for no blood.
Yeah.
But yeah, what can I say? Do you remember? I remember being in school and being like, oh, how I got the code, like, because people got it from the magazines, like, oh, you can do this and do that, and then so many people borrowed that game off of me just so they can play Mortal Kombat with blood.
It was absolutely epic, mate. I loved Mortal Kombat. It was so good. It was so edgy as well. It was like, oh, you have to do the fatalities. Oh my god.
Yes, is it? Or the one where you knock them down the pit and everything. That's just
right. Yeah.
I mean, I love Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat 2 is my favourite out of the two.
Yeah.
But like you said, this was the reason why. You were the cool kid if you had Mortal Kombat because you had it on the Mega Drive.
It was a cracking beat 'em up.
Awesome. That music in that title screen, like oh yes.
Who was your favourite character?
Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat 1.
It's got to be. It's got to be Sub-Zero because he had the best.
I loved
the best
Sub-Zero.
fatality in that game when you spine ripped someone. That was
then I liked Raiden because he was easy to do fatalities.
The moves are easy as well for Raiden. Yeah,
Raiden was so good. Yeah, I love
what does he say when he does the torpedo action?
No, what does he say?
I can tell you this. What are we up to? Mortal Kombat 15?
Mortal Kombat 1.
What we're up to? Mortal Kombat 15?
Oh, at the moment.
11
I don't
at the
think
moment.
I've ever picked Johnny Cage. Unless it's been a random one. Like, I know. I got no time for Johnny Cage, but I love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat was a great.
I think Johnny Cage was one of those they just shoved in there to go, so we've got this many fighters.
Yeah.
About 5 of them you'll actually fucking use.
We need a guy that looks like Jean-Claude.
He just looks like the one that wouldn't stand a chance in the game. I know he's meant
Wow.
But yeah, short but sweet. Mortal Kombat on the Mega Drive. It wasn't the best port, but again, you just wanted it for blood and carnage. And the Mega Drive gave it to you.
I was sold the first time I saw the pit.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
I had one issue actually with Mortal Kombat is because obviously because of my age I didn't get to play it until I was much older.
Okay.
At which point we already had the PlayStation.
Okay.
Better graphics. I was like, I got experience of better versions of it before playing that one. It was just like,
this was the game that gave it the rating system, wasn't it?
This is the one that was brilliant because this was the one where you go into the video store or the like and you rent it and you go, or to the Woolworths or wherever it was and you go
slide it on the counter
it up and you go, I want this fighting game, and the only other fighting game has been obviously Street Fighter, and it's like, sneak it on. There's no warning, parental guidance. 18.
You put the 2 on there, and then you go, oh no, this one instead.
Oh, this one. You go, how much? Don't worry about it.
Just it.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my pick number 5. Wayne, over to you, sir.
I'll give you one word for my number 5. Boom shakalaka.
NBA Jam.
NBA Jam.
Nice.
NBA Jam.
Yeah.
From downtown.
Good shout, sir.
Yeah, NBA Jam was fucking amazing. I mean, I didn't even really like basketball a lot.
Sure.
But that game is that good. And it's so much fun. That sort of 2-on-2, super arcadey.
Big head mode.
Yeah. And I think it was like
the kits and the colours were just...
Yeah, there were so many teams. And each team had like their own stats as well, which I remember. And I remember, for some reason, I remember Larry Bird being there for Boston Celtics. I don't know if that's right or not.
Right. I was watching a documentary on the NBA today.
So were you really? So there we go.
How is that?
On the Boston Celtics as well.
Even like it was so easy to understand as well. Like it was just you elbow people out of the way and you're trying to get baskets, and as soon as you start scoring more baskets, then your guy goes on fire. Like, who's on fire?
He's on fire.
Yeah, and he just starts turboing around.
It does the most ridiculous slam dunk ever, isn't it?
Yeah, you literally. I think it's the tournament edition is the best one. So I think you could dunk from across the court when you're on fire, literally the other side of the court. The guy just launches himself and burns the other net down. It's amazing. Yeah, NBA Jam was absolutely freaking wicked. That was 1993.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
See, I was still playing NBA Jam 97. And that was bad.
But NBA Jam was
They were awesome.
freaking great. Yeah,
They were great for multiplayer as well.
yeah. When you got 1-on-1, it's just it's
That was
absolutely
another
amazing.
one. Mates come round.
Mates,
Easy
yes.
to get it on.
Yeah.
Always playing NBA Jam with friends. I remember that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because you had one computer character. You could play
That's right.
both on the same team, but
Yeah.
normally you'd play that one person had the AI guy as well. Didn't you?
That's right, yeah.
Well, you
Playing
got
against
passing
each
between
other.
them. Yeah,
I always remember the crowd being quite looked pretty well. It like interact with what you did. Like if you like hit the score a goal, score a basket, sorry.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, wow, sort of thing. But for a 16-bit console, they're like, that's some pretty good crowd reaction out of that.
Yeah, definitely. There was loads of secret characters as well. You put your unlocks in with passwords and stuff, like extra players and stuff like that. It was great. Yeah, real good. And different modes, which is funny. Like super clean floor mode was one. Where like if you ran too fast, the guys would fall over.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Sega Megadrive was they were obsessed with fire.
Yeah.
Everything caught fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything catches fire. On
Definitely.
That's when shit's about to get real when something's on fire, right?
He's on fire. Yeah, there you go.
From way downtown.
Way downtown.
In and out.
The arguments over the Chicago Bulls. Though.
Yes, mate. Everyone wanted to be the Bulls.
Yeah, come on.
If it wasn't
They were the
Bulls,
shit
I quite
back
like the Celtics, to be fair. I don't know why. I think it's just
But
bad.
Raptors because it had a dinosaur on.
As well. Yeah.
Literally, that's the UK logic. Well, if I ain't Jordan,
Yeah.
Then I want to be a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Well, I know that each of the clubs definitely had like stats on it in the tournament edition for sure, like speed, clutch, and jump, or whatever it was as well. And like, there was always some cheap teams that you didn't pick because the stats were so bad. So, but yeah,
Nice.
That was me.
Good shout, sir.
Thank you.
Jason, number 5.
Okay, so my first one is probably one of the few fighting games that I would still play today, and it's Streets of Rage.
Nice. The first one.
Indeed, yes.
Streets of Rage so much.
Yes, number one. I did enjoy number 2. And I guess we because there was a third one as well. If
Sure, there was,
but
yeah.
I don't think I ever played the third one. I definitely played 1 and 2, but number 1 just holds that special place in my heart because it was the first fighting game I was allowed to play as a child. So yeah, I just really remember that, and it's in all its glorious jankiness.
Yeah.
Because it is so fucking janky. But again, even now, I will happily go back and play Street of Rage.
That game has got such a great soundtrack to it.
It really
Even
does.
nowadays, it's
Sounds like
fucking
it's
awesome.
I mean, I completed it on the Xbox recently.
Really?
Streets of Rage, because you can download it as a.
That's right, yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, that whole era of side-scrolling beat-em-ups was incredible.
Do you remember the first time you press the A button and the copper comes and helps you? He shoots a rocket launcher in the air.
Right. Yeah.
It was just annoying that you could never get those. They didn't really bring those games out from the arcade to the computers. They always gave you a slimmed down version.
Yeah,
we never got the Turtles one.
Yeah.
We never got that Simpsons one.
We didn't
with the one with
whatever.
Marge and the Hoover.
Yeah, thanks, Konami.
Yeah, goddamn Konami.
Yeah.
I can't remember which character it was, but it's like, I just remember as a kid, all you ever did was the sliding tackle.
Axel, was it?
I think it
so.
might have been, yeah.
Yeah,
But
all right.
literally,
Yeah.
just spent the entire thing just slide tackling.
It is
people.
genius.
Great. Yeah. Great
Again,
shout,
that's another one where you get this really janky sort of
Do you remember the I think it's like the level before last. You're on an elevator that's constantly going up. You just grab him and throw him off.
Yeah, but then I can't remember which one. It was thingy with her gloves. Was it?
enemy.
Yeah.
sounded more manly than most of the
Very
male
manly.
characters.
She just fucking beat up everybody. Getting turkeys as well, wasn't it?
Nice, mate. Yeah, just randomly eating food you find on the ground. It's weird.
Yeah,
there's a turkey here.
In the back streets.
Someone's left a full Christmas turkey during a street fight.
How it's so simple back then, but when you really think about it, there's a turkey on the floor.
Not only that, but like some villain chef's gone through the effort of making that for his team, and then we've come along eating their food. It's definitely not ours.
And I think you got about 500 points for doing it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, Streets of Rage.
Great shout.
Such a good game. Good
Include
shout,
number
sir.
1 and 2 in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Right, number 4 then.
Number 4.
Back to you, Chris.
Right. This one is... I'm going back in time.
I think all of this is
All
back
of
in
it.
time.
I'm going even further back
Don't do it, Marty.
to the streets of Agrabah.
So close to making my list.
Yeah, Aladdin. Like,
Make way for Prince
Ali.
right, yeah.
Best song.
Now, in all fairness, there was a SNES version, but the Megadrive version
Mega
was way
Drive
better.
was awesome.
Yeah.
For some reason, it looked like the cartoon. It was like
It did,
shaded.
yeah.
Prince of Boo Boo. He's having a bear. Look at him. You're gonna have to mute him. He's lost it.
I'll mute him for a
He's
second.
like- we're meant to be professionals. Yeah, no.
Anyway, Aladdin, carry on.
I didn't know, because from the moment you start, you just get transported straight into the streets of Agrabah.
Streets of Agrabah.
And you're hopping, you're jumping, you're fighting, you're throwing apples, you're eating...
He's got a sword. You idiots. We've all got swords.
Literally, and the music, because being at that age, Aladdin had pretty much just come out, and I think you had to wait 2 years for it to come out
That's
on
right,
video.
that's right.
So long. And this was either in between or it just come out afterwards, and like, yeah, I was riding the Aladdin bike.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It was great.
Did you ever complete it without Jake?
No.
No.
I don't know, because I got pretty much, because I still remember to this day, you get to the second level, you make it all the way to the second level without dying, that's easy.
Yeah.
And then on the second level, you just turn left, and there's always an extra life from the first. So you can do the first half of the level on the same life, but once you got past a certain bit,
Yeah. You're
you're
done.
fucked. But no, I always died in the Cave of Wonders with the magic carpet.
Magic carpet.
And the...
Yeah.
That was savage and all the lava and stuff, whatever it was, yeah.
Isn't it chasing you? And you can
Yeah,
see it in the
chasing,
corner,
yeah.
can't you? Yeah.
Chases, yeah. Yeah, that was great.
Wasn't that one of the first few games on the Mega Drive that started to incorporate voicing
Yeah.
Yes.
into it as well?
Yeah.
Is that
From
right?
what I remember. Yeah.
Little...
Because Disney
not much.
plowed loads of money into those games.
Yeah,
didn't they?
it's just
But
weird
that was
how-
half of the reason, like, you know, Robin Williams first said he had an issue because they were going to use his stuff for
Yes.
all of that marketing. But I don't think they used it on that, did they?
Not that I'm aware of,
No,
no.
but... Oh, no. I just had so much fun.
It was great, man.
Oh, we got that game because obviously it was for my sister as well, but I still loved it.
It's a great game.
It was a
man.
great game.
The port
It
for
was-
that is pretty good for a 16-bit console. How smooth it runs is really good.
Just the colours actually looked like the cartoon.
Yeah, it was absolutely epic, mate. Yeah,
It was
real
just so much fun.
freaking loved. Yeah, Aladdin was absolutely amazing, dude. Yeah,
Do you remember the codes for level skipping?
Not that one.
ABBA.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just shouted for Dad and he did it for me. But no, I mean,
Nice.
the long-standing life of that game is actually really good because, like, I bought the Xbox version that they re-released a few years ago.
Oh, nice.
Came with Aladdin, and I think it was the
Lion
Lion
King,
King
yeah.
game. And my son plays it religiously
Really?
now, you know, and he's sort of coming up 10 years old in 2023, and he's loving that game.
yeah, real good, mate.
Just sort of like, yep, I need to get him to play the original
Good,
version
man.
of it
It's
now.
just quality. But yeah, games were hard back then, mate.
This is
That's
it.
what-
Yeah,
that's what
games are hard.
I was saying, I don't think I properly ever completed a Mega Drive game. Ever. Like, back then as a kid,
Yeah.
apart from fighting games,
Yeah.
I've never completed a level scrolling game, you know, on the 3 lives.
Or like Super
Maybe you
R-Type.
get a continue.
Like some of those
Maybe
games were
R-Type
fucking
just
savage, mate. They
just kept
killed you.
generating
You're done.
levels. I don't think it ever ended.
And they're just savage. They're just really, really hard.
I remember pausing that game for about 3 days, like just over night time until my mum was like, "No, this is coming off."
I was like, shit.
Yeah, back when you didn't have to worry about power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, mate. Can't run
I
your
don't have to
console
pay
these
for
days.
it. That was
That's right. It's Game Gear these days costs you 60 quid a month in the system.
Yeah, Jesus, just some batteries.
Left that on, and I'm playing the Game Gear while doing it. On like 10,000 batteries.
Who says you can't multitask? Fucking
Exactly.
So good. Yeah.
Good chat. Anything else on that, sir?
Nice.
No,
Good.
No.
because it's very hard to kind of because it's all
Yeah.
hazy. It's like there's a few like I just remember levels, just the stresses and anger of dying on that magic carpet.
Yes, mate. It was over and over again. Yeah, but no, I've got some things to say, but I'll wait and hold my tongue.
Okay. We'll go to my number 4. My number 4 is RoboCop versus Terminator. I put this on here because at the time this came out, I was actually reading the comic books for RoboCop vs. Marvel released a 3-part series of RoboCop vs. Terminator, and I fucking love that book. That was like the movie I always wanted to be made, which obviously never got done. But then Megadrive released the game, which is done by the guys who did Aladdin, Virgin Interactive. Now they did do a version of this on the SNES, but again, Megadrive was the cool kid one, and it had violence in it, and it was just right up my alley. The gameplay, the guns, the setting, everything is so much better than the SNES version. Not beating up on SNES, but just again, it was a better version of it. It was a more adult version for of the game itself, and just I freaking love it. It's one of those shooters, go here, go there, do this, do that, but how it's so true to the book as well as the movie characters as well. Going up against Ed 209 and some other characters from RoboCop series, it was just like, this is right up my fucking alley. I was like renting those movies, underage kid renting these movies and stuff, and I was just living my life. This was so fucking awesome, and it's such a great game for this console, for a 16-bit game anyway. I think it should be redone,
This was the one that kind of got away. I never got this game.
No.
Always wanted it. My friend had this game.
Yeah, same here.
All I can remember with this one was obviously RoboCop jumping high.
Yeah.
And his gun.
But he does get damaged when he jumps.
He does. He does. But like the gun was like a triple, like a.
Yeah.
It was like a. It wasn't just a.
Yeah.
It just sounded like RoboCop's gun.
Yeah.
And I wanted it. I was never able to get it because it was either always sold out where we were.
Yeah, some of the sound effects on these guns he gets is like crazy. It's like the reaching of the surround system.
We only had one shop or something that you could actually get gains from, and then maybe down the line there was 2 shops.
Yeah.
But if it was sold out,
that's it.
It's out.
Couldn't order it online.
Yeah.
there was
No online.
You
possibly rent it somewhere, but
because it always came like birthdays and Christmases. It was kind of like you would never. Oh, we'll get it after your birthday. No, that wouldn't.
It's got one of the.
You get something else. Yeah, RoboCop Terminator was.
It's got one of the best title screens ever, where RoboCop just and then the Terminator's like. It's so fucking good. Well worth it if you ever get a chance. Great
I
fucking
never
game.
That, mate. Only thing I need, again, like you, Chris, I only got to play it because my mate had it, and that's it.
Yeah,
I barely got to touch it. But yeah. Also, the only thing about RoboCop freaked me out when I was a kid because all I remember was that guy getting annihilated when he's covered in acid.
It's one of the best.
I was like, that's fucking gross.
It's
always
more,
cracks me up, that scene.
It's more the windscreen.
Yeah, exactly. It's covered in goo. Anyway,
That's my number 4. Quick and easy.
Give the man a hand.
I love it. Number 4 is actually a crossover with Mr. Chris, and that is Aladdin.
Nice.
Aladdin was absolutely an amazing platform. It was just brilliant. 1994.
94.
And was by Virgin Games, who you'll also remember did Cool Spot.
Oh,
yes, they did.
Do you
that
remember
was
that?
a game.
Yep. So also, I'll just fill in just with
Remember
some
Cool
facts.
Spot?
yeah, no, I did. I was like,
You forgot it on the list.
No, it didn't even. I didn't even see it. And I was like, how did I forget Cool Spot?
Yeah, make Cool Spot. I'm pretty sure that was Mega Drive as well.
It was, yeah.
So yeah, just what I liked about Aladdin as well, it was quite vertical. So it wasn't like your Mario, which is always sideways. There was loads of like going climbing
up
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Ropes and stuff. And
It just felt different, which is really, really nice. Which and also the lead programmer for Aladdin, Dave Perry, same lead programmer as Earthworm Jim.
Yeah,
So they
that's
are
a game
some,
and a half, sir.
Yeah, so like you can tell there's quite different like similarities between them, and also the animation in Aladdin was freaking so good.
Yeah, for a Mega Drive.
It was amazing, and I was working out today, doing my research for this show.
Yep.
That they had. It's like the first game that used hand-drawn animation by the animators, 10 animators, who then shipped it to Virgin to then digitize the
Oh
animation.
wow! Okay.
So that's how it was done. And that's
So
why
actually it was
That's
animated
why I was saying
properly.
it looked like a cartoon. Then.
Yeah, that's exactly why. So yeah, I think it was absolutely fantastic game, mate. It was absolutely brilliant. I liked everything. You could throw apples at people.
That's it. Yeah, and then
That's right.
their underwear dropped or trousers fall down or something.
that's
don't
right. Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just these little sort of mini bosses throughout the levels as well, which is great. And do you remember you could get Jafar's lamp, like the little black lamp, and they'll just wipe the
That's
screen
right,
and
yeah.
then, like block a
That's
bolt.
it. Everything on the thing on screen dies, doesn't it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was real good. So yeah, little mini games in it. It was awesome. Yeah, that was my number 4. Aladdin, great
Nice,
platform.
Good
It was great.
choice.
Yeah, do you know what? I miss Virgin making games because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
actually always made really good
That's
games.
good.
Absolutely.
Very, very good games. But
What
yeah.
else did they make? Like, I can't.
Oh, man.
Might have been there
Have we got
for
best time
Virgin,
now?
Loads.
It might
Oh,
have,
yeah.
might have been Earth Frontier as well, but I'll double
I
check.
think they did basically anything that was Disney
Oh,
on
then
Mega
I'm
Drive.
sold.
They had that.
Yeah.
Anything cool on the Mega Drive anyway.
Yeah. Anything that looked a bit more real, I think.
Clayfire, they did Clayfire as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Clayfire
Yeah,
is a great game. It was a great fighting game.
63 and a third.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was me.
yeah, nice.
Quality.
Your number 4, sir.
So my number 4 is one of my family's favourite games.
Nice.
I was absolutely terrible at it, but I always remember a certain part of it. But it's Paperboy.
Nice.
And I loved that game because, as I said, I was terrible at it, but I loved seeing him get splatted down by a car and then just lie on the road.
Mate,
Nice.
savage.
And again, really, really simple premise is like you are a paperboy. You're on your cycle. You can change the speed of your cycle, and you can throw papers to try and get them in people's front doors or on the
In the letterboxes and whatnot,
in the
yeah,
letterboxes.
mailboxes.
But again, I took great pleasure in throwing it and smashing windows. So,
Rebel.
but yeah, there ain't much more to it. I
No,
can't remember
it's
how many
Paperboy
levels there
simply.
were, but it was
I
always
always
the same
remember
thing.
Paperboy being earlier than the Mega Drive.
It was, yeah.
I-
They got up to Mega Drive. Yeah.
I had it on the Amiga. I remember it, but like you say, it did cross over because I had it black and white, and it looked more of a stick like line
Yeah.
drawing than.
I think that's why I definitely remember it more, because they'd upped it.
Yeah.
To the Mega Drive, and it
They
it
must
was
have gone-
so much more.
I just
smooth.
remember my paper
Yeah.
round being nothing like that.
No,
You couldn't chuck your papers.
No, mate. No.
place them.
I always used to
gently.
get frustrated because you're obviously concentrating on moving forward, but then you got to throw it out. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
shit. I was always one thing or the other. I can never
Yeah.
do
Always the bloody
because-
hole in the pavement. You're like,
Yes, mate.
fucking sort it out.
get those potholes sorted.
Yes, mate.
Can you imagine a modern day version of that?
Play my car tax for.
Big potholes all over the place.
pavement.
Yeah, it's good.
You wouldn't get run over; it'd just be dodging potholes. The game, like.
That's it.
But yeah, I was the same as you. And as you were saying, like with regards to the way the controllers were designed, it did make that game really difficult because as a child, I couldn't get my fingers all the way. So I had to put the controller down, and I was sort of
One of
trying
the,
to-
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
one finger. Or
We
two
mentioned that on
fingers
the
trying to do it.
N64 version, episode, like how did you hold it for certain games, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, there you go, Paperboy, my number 4.
Nice. Let's go to number 3s.
Number 3.
Over to you, Chris.
Sweet. Right. Okay. Yes.
Sweet as, bruv.
Right.
Number 3. Groovy. Is
Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
Nice.
Yeah.
Groovy. Is how we used to do it.
He's a
Groovy.
guy.
About
The first or second one?
First.
Okay.
100% first. Like,
Number 2's good, though.
number 2 is good, but
Yeah.
like, kids, it was the age and like how long I played this one for. I don't think I played number 2 as much, if not hardly ever. I don't think I didn't have it. I didn't personally own it. I definitely played it, but number 1 I played a lot, and it was like I just remember the first level I always had to go the secret way down the plasma toilet and
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
all of that shit, like, and get the extra plasma underneath the first bit.
Can you like drop cows on people?
Drop cows on,
That's it.
on the
Yeah.
fridges.
That's right. Or something.
And like, I still to this day get stressed out about being in that submarine in my class.
Oh, and the glass breaks, doesn't it? Yeah.
Or getting smashed by those gorilla things in those pipes.
Yeah.
Are absolutely loved.
Couldn't you glide over to a certain bit and you
Yeah,
helicopter your head?
Yeah, because you had to do that to go through a little gap to get through to that hook to get you to the toilet.
I always remember the whip sound
whip,
effect. You take your head and whip a cow, for fuck's sake.
And it's plasma weapon when you're like, boom.
That was brutal. That was, wasn't it? So good.
And
That was such a cool game.
That is a franchise that needs to come back. That would be fucking awesome.
I'm sure they were talking about actually releasing a new one, but then I don't know who was doing it to start with. But I remember reading something about it being canned.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you ever got like, because you get to the end where like you started to do level cheats, like because you're like, right, I've given it enough time. I need to get to this same level. Yeah. And there was one with a dog, the little space dog, and like if he got hurt or he fell down, I think he went absolutely mental, and he pummeled you.
He beats the shit out of you.
He beats the shit out of you, and that was quite scary. And then, God forbid, you made it past that level with a life, if you were lucky. It gives you like a 10-minute helicopter ride through like this canyon of spikes, which is only just about big enough as your suit, and it's like
infuriating, wasn't it?
It was difficult as shit, mate. Again, games
like you said,
I
can't remember ever completing it. Like,
I don't think I ever have actually.
It's almost as if back then they just couldn't actually think of how to end games. So it's like, well, we'll just make it so fucking hard that they die.
The thing is, back then, it's literally just a congratulations screen. You got to the end, like, congratulations, done. It's not like a cinematic ending or anything, was it?
Even like, if your mum come in and say, we're turning it off, you could go, I need to save it. Because that wasn't even we didn't even know of a save. It was just leave it on. That was saving it, just not turning it off. I'm in a corner. I cannot die.
Yeah.
I'm on pause.
Yeah.
That is saved.
That's it.
That's saved.
That is saved back then, yeah.
When you get, it's time to go to bed. Don't you dare turn off that console.
So,
I don't know
the days you could leave it on.
Did anybody used to do this? I used to have a bit of blue tack or a bit of tape, and you used to put a bit of tape over the red power button on the Mega Drive, so it always looked like it was off.
Snide.
Nice.
That is.
Oh yeah, because it had the little red. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you put a little bit of tape over that, or a little something in front of it.
Nice.
So smart.
That was something.
Turn the telly off, so it'd be fine. Yeah.
Super Nintendo did that better. There was no light.
Yes, there was.
Was there?
Yeah, there was.
Maybe mine was just fucked.
Yeah.
Can you imagine saving?
You couldn't tell if this was on or off.
Can you imagine saving a game like that for like days and then you get a power cut?
No.
Can you imagine?
Don't. He's already been traumatized by the Game Gear. Don't make.
Oh, the Game Gear. Oh no, I love my Game Gear.
Good effort, mate. Good pick.
Very good.
It's a very good pick, sir. My number three is Golden Axe.
Oh,
yeah. I picked Golden Axe because I had. We're going back to the sentimental value of what Jason was saying with some of his games. Basically, before I moved to Crawley, I used to be in the Cub Scouts, and every summer we'd go to this camp that would have like a youth sort of wings, and it would have an arcade machine there, which would have Golden Axe in it. And that was sort of like the first game I got to play, Sega game I got to play on an arcade machine. And I used to love playing on this fucking thing. It's essentially Streets of Rage medieval version, right?
Yeah.
And it was just I was so heavily into playing like D&D and whatnot back then. So 80s fantasy stuff was right up my alley. And then the fact you could play a game and relive this and beat the shit out of books, climb on dragons, use magic to summon stuff. It was the bees fucking knees.
It was so good.
And then when the Mega Drive said, we've got it on our machine, I was like, that's what I'm having. I'm having that. And then I think it was a game that had Golden Axe, Shinobi, and Columns in one.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, what a pack.
It was like the triple thing. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, I think it was an anniversary pack.
That's it, there we go. Correctly, So that
I had the Columns pack, but mine had Columns football and something else.
Yeah, I think it's a Formula 1 game.
Yeah.
It's like Super Monaco or something like that,
Silver Series. I think that's what they called them, the Silver Series packs. Where it was like all the best games of whatever year. There you go.
Yeah, because I never played, because everyone always went Tetris, and I was like...
Collins was Sega's Tetris, wasn't it?
I was Collins.
Yeah, so anyway, go back to Golden Axe. Again, 2 players, having a mate play with it as well.
Yeah,
I'm going to kind of cheat on this. I really love all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I think they're all great games. Again, it's rinse repeat. It's the same thing. I like the fact that you can choose on the level where to go. You can go up or down. It would take you a different anyway. So again, a bit of replayability. I love these games so much that I even bought, during COVID, I had someone design an arcade machine for me. Has every 6,000 retro games on it.
Wow.
It's up there. And there's a game on there, there's a Golden Axe game which never got released on the Mega Drive. It was an arcade thing only. And I finally got to play it. And I'm like, this is fucking... It would have been amazing on the Mega Drive. So I'm kind of glad I never did, but at least... some point in my life, I still got to play it. Yeah. So it's essentially Golden Axe 4, but not actually Golden Axe 4. Again, it's like I said, it's Streets of Rage, another one that I love, but the medieval version, I can't deny it's a great game for the console.
I was always the axe guy. That was always
that was a dwarf, yeah.
Yeah, the dwarf. He was the best.
I remember the first time I played as a woman, and you if you get the amount of potions, you can do the maximum thing. When that dragon head comes down and just blazes fire at everyone, that dude, seriously, cool. So much jizz in my pants on that. I was
absolutely.
It's just amazing. You cannot deny how good this was. I mean, you show this to a kid now, you're like, what?
What is this?
What the fuck is this? But this was just wow, absolutely wow.
It was awesome.
I totally forgot until you mentioned it that you could ride the dragons.
Yeah,
and stuff. You could ride your own one.
There was so many different ones as well.
Well, that's the reason I like those sort of games. I've always liked, Gauntlet Legends or stuff, sort of like button bash, mythical. Just go for it. Just go for it. Yeah.
The only thing I think back to about the dragons now is how they're all incredibly fat dragons and how their feet never touch the floor.
That's it.
They just flap.
So remember the miniature ones? They had like a little beak, and all they did was just swipe their tail. That's what they did.
Right, the tails.
Yeah. But no, really, really good series
and you get
of game.
And you get to beat midgets up and take their potions.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Sorry to any midgets that listen to the show. Anyway.
So hang on,
Wayne, number 3.
We've offended Americans now. We've offended midgets. Let's move on.
Don't look at me. I'm going to try my hardest not to offend anyone. I say. My number 3 is Skitchin. Did anyone remember Skitchin?
Oh, no. It's
from 1990.
Yeah, it's number 2 on my honourable mention.
No, I don't.
Skitchin, okay, it was
with the roller skates. Yes.
Yeah, it was a rollerblading racing game, which was basically you were an inline skater, right, and you're trying to win the tournament. It puts you in the middle of the fucking street, basically. You're roller skating down the middle of the street with cars going past, and you could grab on the back of cars.
Oh, wicked.
Right.
Mine with Flystyle.
To like hitch a ride. So it's skating and hitching. So skitching.
Right? Oh, nice. So, yeah.
So you'd we grab behind it and then it would like boost you forward so you can get to the next car.
Onto another
car, exactly, until you win the race. And then also, because it's based on the Road Rash engine.
Nice.
Like the same design. Yeah. Designers or whatever. You've got like weapons and fighting. So you've got other people that are obviously racing with you and you're like elbowing out of the way. And you get like crowbars that you beat them down with.
Yeah.
Chains, that's right.
Road Rage was such a great series.
Road Rage was a great series, yeah. This was like the same engine or whatever, but Road Rage was amazing as well. It was so good.
Road Rash,
that's right. Road Rash, not Road Rage.
It is Road Rash.
Road Rash, you're right. Sorry, yeah.
It also had, because I was checking out a couple of videos to remind myself today, and the soundtrack is fucking savage. It's like
the Skitchin.
It's like it's like double pedal blast beats just going throughout the whole throughout the whole baground with like all this guitar. It's like so good, real good.
But that's all I remember in the arcade. You could just hear
absolutely amazing.
Can't figure out why you grew up to like rock.
Yes, mate.
Because of Skitchin, bitch.
Wasn't it great? How great a sound they could get out of those 16-bit sound cards.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It was awesome.
There's so many games where they sounded so awesome. And I think it was basically through those restrictions, because they were restricted by what sounds they could make. They were really creative.
Yeah,
such amazing music. Real good.
Just that era in general. It's my favourite era for game music.
No, that was it's number 2 on my honourable mention list. But it was so hard to not put it in, but because that was my mode of transport more than anything. I was more a roller skater than bikes back in the day. And I loved... It was the only game, really, you're like, there's loads of games. There's going to be many games about roller skating. There wasn't.
No, man. I remember you could get... you earn money, and you need money to get into the next races.
Yeah.
That's right. And then you could buy new gear. That's right. And there was police, and then they'd arrest you if you skitched onto them for too long.
Always had your little rivalries of people giving you the little.
That's right, yeah.
How it looked, the cutscene, but it wasn't a cutscene. It was just a picture, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was great. Real good.
Nice.
That was my number 3. Skitchin. Great memories of that game.
Very, very good. Okay, so my number 3, we're going to stick with the racing theme and also with the music theme, because this is a game that, again, the second I hear the music, I know exactly what game it is, and that is Outrun.
I was literally about to say that. When he said, do you remember Rocky Metal.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Outrun.
Has to be Outrun.
Yeah, Outrun's awesome, dude.
Absolutely awesome game. Ultimately, terrible racing game because, 183
don't you
miles
dare
an hour
mock
around
that.
the corner. But, yeah, it's not very realistic at all.
Who
but
put that palm tree there?
I loved it. Exactly.
But you can go off-roading, it would tumble or something, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
From what I remember.
there was good side of it. Like, if you did go off-road, you did kind of get a little bit punished, I guess. But, yeah, it was just that really weird thing. I'll always remember it because I loved the, I think it was the menu thing.
Right,
where you saw where you were on the track as to, like, what level you were on.
Yeah.
And then you saw all these different paths that you could take, like, depending on, because you came to that fork in the road. It's like, oh, do I go left or do I go right?
Exactly,
And if
yeah.
you didn't make it always go like, you ended it, and you're like, I was only so close.
Exactly.
So
You sort of
close.
get to the end, it's like, no, I didn't do it. And then it's like, oh, well, I'll have to do it again then. I love this game. I'm just going to keep playing. And I would play that game for hours upon hours upon hours. That was one of the games, again, got myself in trouble. I woke up very early one particular morning and snuck downstairs, turned on the TV and played the game, and eventually parents came down at 7 o'clock and I got grounded for 3 weeks.
Oh, God.
Fucking hell.
Oh,
Savage.
mainly because I'd also
All that for Outrun.
it was over
Savage.
Christmas. I'd also managed to take all the chocolate coins off of the Christmas
Worth
tree
it.
and was
Worth it.
covered in chocolate.
100% worth it, mate.
It's not worth it.
Definitely worth it.
I've
but
got
yeah,
like 2 hours
love
of
that
Outrun.
game.
I don't care.
So you had 3 weeks. So you had 3 weeks of no Outrun after that.
3 weeks of no Outrun. Yeah.
Was you like
savage?
Get nervous
I
ticks or
was.
something? Or
I was. Yeah.
That might well 3 weeks is that age.
it's an eternity.
That's decades.
That's decades.
So
Yeah.
long.
That is
Brutal.
3 weeks.
10 years
of-
old?
oh.
I could barely go a day
That's
without
a
video
nice
game
saying.
in my
That's
mouth.
Shawshank.
Mate.
Shawshank.
I think to be let out for good behaviour.
Like you tunnel your way out of your bedroom.
Yeah, trying to be as good as you can for 3 days.
Jason
Hope
cost
that
me
you're
2
off.
packs of cigarettes that morning.
2 gummy bears.
That's right.
So there you go.
Trying
Nice.
to bribe her
Outrun.
mum. Anyway.
Number 2s.
Number 2.
Over back to you, Chris.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. This one is a number 2. It is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Nice.
Yeah, baby.
Right. This
Waiting
one,
for the first Sonic game to arrive. Yeah.
No, well, Sonic.
I'm going to jump in with you because it's my number 2 as well.
Oh,
so,
brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah, well, Sonic.
I'll jump in with it. It's actually also my number 2.
Is yours? Okay, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, yeah.
Sonic 2 was basically. I remember Sonic, the first one, and I kind of associate that with the Master System. Also had it on the Game Gear. But the Mega Drive, when you turned it on and he come bolting across and it was like, Sega.
Yeah.
And it's that sound. I still kind of get goosebumps of like how excited I could possibly.
That's boot up sequence.
Yeah, you're like,
yes, I'm gonna write.
It's getting hyped.
and then and you go on that first level. Was it Emerald City? Is it
Emerald Hill Zone.
Emerald Hills.
Emerald Hill, and it's so bright,
Yeah.
so colourful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like really colourful. And you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah,
And
Sonic
then-
2 specifically was better
Sonic
than
2
Sonic 1.
because
Oh, yeah, 100%.
they added the rings. You get 50 rings.
And then the emeralds, you get the 3D thing at the end.
See,
That's right, yeah.
Now, because I don't know if this is an actual thing. You know the little save things?
Yes.
What did you call them?
TVs, I called them.
Checkpoints.
Oh, because we back down.
You saw
the
about
ones that
you go
spin?
doo-doo.
Yeah, because I know
Oh, sorry, the ones that
we
spin.
called
I
them
don't
Tiddums.
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 I just said checkpoint.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
checkpoints.
checkpoint. Oh, sorry.
the lollipop thing.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I was thinking,
Yeah, that was just the
that's
checkpoint.
just what I called him. What does everyone else
And
call
if you had over 50 rings, the stars would pop up and you jump in.
literally, that's what made Sonic 2 so good for me. I'd be so annoyed if a crab hit me at like 47 rings and I couldn't get it back and I couldn't get into the
Bonus.
Yeah,
right?
bonus
because
zone.
you got the mini games on that on Sonic
Yes, right,
2.
yeah.
and then you had the was it the half pipe, which was
That's
just
right, the
awesome,
half
and then
pipe.
it became like 2-player anyway. So like, and Tails did nothing, so it was the perfect game for my sister to play because I could just leave her,
Yeah.
and then Tails would come.
Eventually, yeah.
That's
what
right.
was it? Helicopter her in,
Helicopter
and then,
her
in. That's
and then leave her again.
Yeah.
And yeah, the half pipe was just so much fun. I loved it, and the music.
It's got a killer soundtrack.
Soundtrack.
Chemical Plant is
Chemical
fucking
Plant,
awesome. Yeah.
Yes, man. Chemical Plant was
There's
banging.
a song by I think it's
But fuck that level in the
Joker,
waters.
and he does a full Chemical Plant rap song. That's like,
Oh, no way.
yeah, brilliant.
Sick.
Would you say that like that's the hardest one as well. Because I always found Sonic
I always
2,
thought 3 was hard.
as you got later
Sonic and
on, like
Knuckles. Is that Sonic?
Sonic and Knuckles, yeah.
Was that 3?
Yeah.
no, that was 4.
Knuckles came into 3, but Sonic and Knuckles was after 3.
Yes, correct. That is right, yeah.
Yeah, I always found
no,
number
it was-
2 was like when I was younger. I found number 2 was the hardest in the later,
Okay,
the later ones.
Yeah, I always
But
drowned.
I think as an adult, I find number 3 is the hardest.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
which it's really weird.
Yeah, no, I think 3's hardest, but yeah.
There is like that moment with Sonic though, like you got to an age and it just,
Phased out.
I don't believe in Sonic anymore.
It's like Father Christmas.
I don't want to say that just in case like some.
Yeah, I think when he went 3D, that's when it phased
It
out.
died, you know,
100%.
I think I had it
He
from the
didn't-
Dreamcast. It was good enough, but
He
it's
didn't
just,
make
it
the
wasn't the
jump
same.
with like Mario,
Mario got super creative and Sonic did.
but like
Yeah.
like the magic died when that bit for me. That was what.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Tetris became a huge thing and they did the Sonic one on the Megadrive?
Yeah,
Where it was,
yeah.
I think it was like Dr. Robotnik's
That's right.
Sonic or
That's
other.
it. It was it was like columns sort of thing, wasn't it? That's
Yeah,
it.
it was, very similar to columns.
That's it.
Yeah, I remember that, and it was fucking awful.
Yeah, that
I
was
do like
terrible.
how they brought him into
Sonic
like,
Pinball was crap as well.
Yeah, that was awful.
how they brought Sonic and the characters into like their party games, like
Yes.
the Olympics and the tennis, and like now they've crossed over with that. I think
Yeah, that is good.
that's good.
Yeah, Sonic
It's
2
got
is
a
amazing.
place.
I think it's the best one. I think it's the best
I
one.
love it. It's and, was the cheat? Was it up, down, left, right, ABC start on
Is
that
that one? Maybe.
I didn't know there
That
was
sounds
one.
familiar.
For
I
it.
know that is a
that,
cheat.
yeah.
That must be. That sounds familiar.
I kind of picked it because it was the game that came with the console. So
Did they
uh,
get pat? No, wait.
there was obviously split screen. The first time
Yep.
it introduced the split screen, one Tails one. So
Yeah.
and the one thing that I really hated about the first one, but the second one put it in, is when you can press down and jump and you can do a little spin to get you going.
Yeah,
that was the best
That
thing
was
in
the
that
most
one.
annoying thing you couldn't do in the first one.
Yes, mate.
But the bosses were great in this one. Like I said, the levels are better than this one, than the first one as well. It just had everything you wanted from a sequel,
Yeah.
up the ante, and was just like, it has to be on that list. It was
Yeah.
just, they knew what they had, and they delivered big time.
I
with
know
Sonic
they
2.
introduced like the ducking down and then spinning thing. Was that the one where you could press the button multiple times?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
and it would
and
just
you
sit
go,
there do it. Because
Yeah,
I would sit there forever, just and it didn't
but the
make
ground
any
never bent or
fucking
anything,
difference.
did it?
no, it did make a difference.
I was thinking of doing this list. The way that they did sequels for a lot of games,
Yeah.
they absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, they
I
normally
know
do.
you like Golden Axe, but Golden Axe 2 was
Banging.
banging too.
Yeah, so no, I said all three. Yeah,
all three were
but-
banging, but
yeah.
like all sequels were brilliant. I thought the Sonic one, like when they did it, Sonic 2 was brilliant.
Yeah, Sonic 3 was great. Yeah.
They were just nailing sequels for the Mega Drive.
They really were.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think sequels is something that they absolutely nailed full stop because it you could go playing the full number one and then immediately put number two in and it
Number
wouldn't
two.
feel like you'd stop playing.
Yeah.
No, this is it.
It
No,
felt like you were
it's
just continuing
seamless.
the story.
Didn't try and do too much like what they do now, and it felt like, oh, I've got this power and I've progressed. I've started with it again. You don't start another game.
This is it.
Where's my power gone? I should be badass like the
Yeah,
last
this is
one.
it,
Why
yeah.
have I gone back to being a weak ass?
Yeah.
Wayne, why is it your number two?
It was just so bloody great. I mean, I loved Sonic anyway. That was all. Yeah, it was just always a good game. I mean, the first Sonic was a great game, but it just improved on it in so many ways. I mean, I think it's like because developers, they built all of the mechanisms. We're still inventing stuff when you're in like the Master System, and everyone's learning the software. So when it came to upgrade it, they were already experienced with it, and so they could just put a massive coat of paint on it, and that's what they did with Sonic. They made it bigger, they made it faster, they made it just more stuff in it. It had multiplayer in it.
Yep,
You could do,
that's it, yeah, it's
you could
split
do
screen.
competitive split screen multiplayer, and you could kind of play it cooperative, where the other person could play
That's
as
right.
like Tails
Yeah.
while you're playing. That's like two ways to play. So it kind of innovated as well, which is quite great. But yeah, this came out in '92. First time with Tails, and it had a $10 million marketing campaign.
Really?
One of the stats that I was reading up earlier to check this out, but $10 million, even by these standards, that's a lot. I'd like to see what inflation does to that. Like, what's that
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
these days?
That's probably
Like,
just the
not
budget
cheap.
on the game
But
nowadays.
how much did they make by?
Oh, they made a ton, man. It was like the best-selling game like that year. Like,
Just say, you gotta think, they still sell it now.
yeah, that's
They're
true.
still
Yeah.
making money now.
They're still making money off that game.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Sonic is living off those.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Something I didn't know as well is that apparently if you got all of the emeralds before you completed it, you got a different ending.
I didn't know that.
There was
I
an
didn't know
ending.
that, There was 2 endings, apparently. Yeah. Apparently, yeah.
He goes supersonic at the end, doesn't he?
Does that transpose over to the reissues on Xbox?
Yeah, because at the beginning of Sonic 3, it's straight from there.
If you get all of
and he falls off and all the emeralds come off.
That's right. If you get all the emeralds, you get become Gold Sonic.
That's
and
right.
You're basically an unstoppable god. And he just it's obscene.
Yeah.
That's real good.
And Right Said Fred did the song for that as well. Sonic 2.
No way.
Yeah, Supersonic it's called.
Mate, the bass lines. I was checking out a couple of the soundtracks, and for a few of the games we've been talking about today, the bass lines are rude. They're so good.
So good. And going back to saying about the cartridges that expanded,
There,
Sonic and Knuckles did it,
that's
didn't
right,
it?
That's right. You could put Sonic 3 or Sonic 2 in the top of Sonic 3, I think it was.
Into Sonic
Or
and Knuckles, and you could play Knuckles on
in
Sonic 2, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, which is quite cool.
You could never do, if I remember correctly, you couldn't do Sonic 1.
No, it's only 2 or 3, yeah.
But I believe that's one of the other things that really annoyed me, actually. I believe with the Genesis, you could
Oh, really?
put Sonic 1 into it.
So that's annoying.
Because I think later on, we
been
were
robbed.
able to do it, but
Yeah.
with later consoles, you could go back and play Sonic 1 with Knuckles. But, yeah.
It was great, man. It was so good. Although the level when you're in the casino bugged the shit out of me.
Boom,
You just get
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
just you're so lost.
Yeah.
You just get pounded around by it was just savage. Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, I think it was the underwater level that used
As
it.
well.
I just died.
the drowning.
That music's terrifying when you run out of oxygen.
I'll tell you what, though.
Fucking scary.
Every single underwater level is everyone's least favourite level of every game.
by
I
far.
don't care what it is. It's always the underwater level.
Yeah.
You do feel like you're going to drown.
Yes,
Even though
Mario doesn't. He doesn't need oxygen or anything. Sonic has got it.
That's mate. It's ridiculous.
Tomb Raider, like,
Yeah.
the panic. No, Lara.
Jason, number 2. So.
Really, really good choices there, guys. Okay, so this one actually only really made it into the list today. And I am going to cheat with this a little bit. And it made it into the list because I went to see my mum today. And I actually spoke to her. I was like, look, what was the game I played the most when I was a kid? And she goes, there was 3 games that you played about the same amount, and they were all fucking annoying. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm going to tell you all 3 of them because they're all equal in this. And that was Tiny Toons Adventures.
Nice.
Okay.
World of Illusions and Quackshot.
I don't know.
They were all
what
Disney ones,
Mickey
weren't
Mouse.
they?
So you had,
Those 2 were Disney ones, weren't
Yeah,
they?
you had the last 2 which were Disney ones, and then obviously
Tiny
Tiny
Toons.
Toons was
I used to love that
Looney
show.
Tunes. Absolutely loved it. And again, I was looking at them today, and I was like, do you know, as soon as I put the YouTube videos, I was like, I know this music.
Yeah, got ya.
I knew it instantly. I was like, I know this level. I know exactly how to get through it. And again, I was like, yeah, it just made me rush back with loads of memories.
I remember
And the
Tiny Toons being a decent platformer, actually.
It was, yeah, it was very, very good. And I think that was one of the earlier ones because I think that was a 1992.
Yeah, the
release.
show was quite early, yeah.
Whereas the other 2 Disney ones, I believe, were 1993 and 1994, respectively. But yeah, I remember Quackshot especially because I used
Donald
to love
Duck.
Donald
Duck with the
Plungers.
the plungers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You'd shoot something and it would literally sit there having a
Have a
seizure
spasm,
while
yeah.
you walk past it. You know, so it was just sort of like, it was like one of those sort of scrolling fighting games, but instead of actually hurting people and,
Yeah, 'cause
and
Disney,
killing
you can't kill
people,
anyone, can you?
Being Disney, it's like, no, you basically shot them and they froze or seizured in front of me. And again, I think World of Illusions was Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse.
Was it?
There's the 2-player
No,
one. That's
it was the
awesome.
2-player
Yeah,
one.
that's a
Really,
great
really
game. My
good.
wife loves that game, man.
Was it Mickey Mouse Castles of Illusion?
There was another one.
But there was a sequel, yeah. Where you had the
which
2-player
I
cooperative.
Was there
believe
2
was
then?
that, yeah.
There was 2.
Yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, that's the one that stuck in my mind. I always, because Donald Duck was one of my favourite Disney characters at the time when I was a kid.
Donald's
so
awesome.
I definitely
Donald's
love
awesome,
both of
man.
those.
Donald, you can
Angry
sit
shit,
there
man.
and just watch him freak out. Yeah.
But again, yeah, I think if memory serves correctly, they again were Virgin.
Is that right?
They are,
I
that's
believe
right.
all 3 of them were
Yes,
Virgin.
that's
'cause
right.
They all had that really nice, like the artwork was all very clearly
Yeah.
done by the animators and then passed over to Virgin to then animate, if you like. on
Virgin
the
needs to
actual
come
thing.
back, man. Make a comeback with games.
Oh, hell yeah. But
Good
yeah,
man,
they're
Virgin's
my
active.
3, and the fact that I got the added bonus of pissing my entire family off with the noise of those games. There you go. Perfect
Nice.
sentimental value.
Love
Number
it.
2.
Let's go to the final one then.
It's number one.
Here we go, Chris.
Number one, Chris.
Bring it home, baby.
Okay. Right, I'm kind of touching on what Ant said for his number 5.
Yeah.
Going on. My one is Mortal Kombat 2.
Nice.
I loved Mortal
Good
Kombat.
shout, sir.
I loved Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
That hooked me line and
2
sinker.
is a kick-ass game.
Now,
Yeah.
being in, I was about 10 or 11 when this... 11, the rule was I wasn't allowed to town to go to the arcade. The arcade was a shady place. Only drunks and degenerates hang out at the arcade.
It's amazing how
So,
much
the
arcades
ama-
haven't changed.
So me and my cousins used to raid the, money box, piggy bank, like pounds, like, because everything was 20, 40p back in those days.
That's right, it was, yeah.
And you go down. I remember going into the arcade and like you're just in the corner and you see like on the side of the machine just this massive Raiden,
yes. That
And I
was
was
such a
like-
killer cabinet.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, ah. Like the sheer excitement. I've
So
gone over,
much jizz.
I've run over and all I could just see is like this bigger boy. I'm like, he's amazing. He's a god.
Yeah.
And I look on the screen and it's Baraka
Yeah.
versus
The blades.
Reptile in
Mate.
the acid pit.
Yeah.
And he's getting his knives out and he's stabbing. And I was like, oh, like
There's even more blood coming out than the first
eyes
one.
wide, absolutely. Anyway, cut forward to when it's being released.
Yeah.
I must have Mortal Kombat. I get it, and then obviously remember ripping open the corner, and it's just that dark blue part of the box.
That's right.
You rip it more, and there's that orange dragon. You're like,
Yeah.
and then literally, mastering all of
Same.
everybody's moves, but Johnny Cage's.
Yeah.
Like.
Beef with Johnny Cage.
I loved Melina, Katana, just working my way up, getting butt fucked by Goro, coming all the way back down,
Yes, mate.
all the way back up. If I had enough lives that I got past Goro, Shao Kahn just fucked me up, sent me back like a little schoolboy that I was. Like, you're not big enough and bad enough to take me. And I played that for absolutely years.
Yeah.
And I could have quite easily put number 3 on as well.
No, number
But
3 is nowhere near as good as 2, dude.
2 I didn't get as excited for, and then they started putting too much in.
That's it, yeah.
Was it friendships in number?
Friendships from number 2, but then like brutality, babalities, animalities were
there
all
was
in
something
that.
shit. Like,
Then you could do combos in number 3. It was just too much.
I did like Nightwolf in 3, but I mean, number 2 was just awesome. The pit.
It was even higher now. It was like a tall fucking thing,
knocking
wasn't
him
it?
into the spikes of the top, the toasty,
Yes,
toasty, down and start.
Do you know what? For years, I thought it was Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
I always thought it was Whoopsie.
I always said toasty, but
Yeah.
I put, then was it toasty on the portal, down and start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Round 1, you're going to get fucked up by Noob Saboot now. Or was it Smoke in that one?
Smoke was in,
Yeah.
No, both in it. Noobs Sabot as well.
Yeah,
It was-
anyway, you get fucked up by Noob Saboot. Like, that was it. Like,
There were so many unlockable characters, man.
absolutely.
So good.
Did you notice that Smoke's in the background of the Lim Forest?
Yes.
He like peeps up behind one of the
I
trees.
think there was a picture on one of my magazines that the way that they did an uppercut, it made it look like the tree was eating.
Yes, that was a myth, wasn't it? Like an urban legend.
You always tried it, but it never happened.
No,
And
it's like when the code for naked Lara Croft was out. It never was a
Yeah,
thing, was
literally,
it?
I played that
Bullshit.
game so much, and it was one of those games that just the fatalities was what set it apart for me to the Street Fighter to absolutely fucking someone up.
Dude, I wish I put 2 in, but like I said, number 1 you couldn't deny for it. But I played number 2 so fucking much. I was like, you, I was so hyped up. And then in school, you had to do this thing at the time where you had to make a magazine for homework or whatever it was. I kid you not, I did a player's guide for Mortal Kombat 2.
No.
I had all the move lists, everything.
So good.
Just like looking through video game magazines like and this and that. My teacher was like, "What the fuck is this? Is this like Morse code for something?" It's like, and I failed that as well. I was well pissed off.
I just didn't understand you, man.
Mortal Kombat 2 is
It was
fucking
so,
great
so
game.
fucking great, mate.
Loved it.
So many characters as well.
Yeah, and then it started going. You didn't want friendship. You just friendship. Or
Bullshit.
Babality. I know they started to add it, but like it got a bit silly.
Yeah.
But I like it when he goes friendship and then he goes friendship afterwards, like he questions it.
Yeah, but you only. I don't know if you only did a friendship because you were about to fuck him up with was it an animality or something? Because you had to show him mercy or something to be able to do that special move.
Mate, it was so good. I loved it. The amount of unlockables was ridiculous. I remember there was quite a lot of unlockable characters, at least in number 2. Was it Jax was in this one as well?
Yes, he was, yeah.
He was an absolute animal.
That's before he had the metal arms as well, yeah.
That's right.
But do you remember the I don't know if it was you, but the rage of like when you were like, right, sweep leg distance, left, right.
Yeah.
Punch. And it go, and it just punch her in the face. The rage of like, that was not what I wanted. I was meant to just rip you in half and I just like punch you in the face.
That's the
next time.
Finish him. Yeah.
Just when it went dark, you're like, I am God.
You know, the thing is that with fatalities now, it's not even a struggle to do it because you can pay to do fatalities now.
Can you?
Yeah, so basically, if you ever played the new ones, you can pay for it, and it's literally like hold the left trigger and X or A, whatever it is, and it does it. So you can cheat it if you want. You can do them like normal, but you're given more time to it now as well. You
had no internet, you had no player guide for the first month. No one knew how to do a fatality. It was like...
It's like if you didn't know how to do it in the arcade, you didn't know how to do it at home, did you?
No, you didn't.
That was back in the day where people would spend days upon days upon days when it first comes out figuring out what all the cheats were. Then they had to send it to a magazine company,
that's right,
who then had to print the damn magazine for it then to be released worldwide.
I wanted to go on Games Master just to figure that shit out.
The Games Master with him as a head.
Exactly. No internet, or watch it on Games Master. That's it.
Golden joystick. No, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I was sold from the moment. I was sold for Mortal Kombat 1, but that arcade was
2 up the ante big time.
Yeah, just seeing it from the side, Raiden just looks so badass.
And then Nintendo learnt their lesson, so they put the blood on number 2 in the end.
Well, that was the shine. Green blood or no blood? It was you're weak. That was the only thing that Super Nintendo had an edge on certain games, but the Mega Drive.
Sega were just a bit more chill with everything. They were just let
they couldn't
care. Nintendo content.
They didn't care about offending the parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Mortal Kombat 2.
Such a good shout, mate. Good shout. My number 1 is going to Jason's number 5, but it's going to be Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fucking love Streets of Rage 2. As much as I love the first one, again, this is like Sonic 2 and Mortal Kombat 2. It just upped the ante of what it was.
Yeah, 100%.
New characters, new special moves. The ability of the copper coming to help your aid is out of the game now, which I think is more of a challenge. I felt was a bit more of a cheat in the first one, but it's still a great option to have in the first one. Levels are better, music's better, just everything about it. It's like I think this was the first one that introduced the enemy's health as well.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you remember, in the first one you just punched until they went, yes. But in this one you can actually see their health and how long it would take you to take down their health.
I always remember both having health, but that could just be my terrible memory.
I do believe that's
the second one was amazing. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, Streets of Rage 2. I can't even tell you how much I played that game. I absolutely destroyed that cartridge.
Yeah, when number 2 came out, it was like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing.
I think they actually upped the ante with regards to the difficulty on it as well. I remember, like, even the base level baddies that you were facing, they were harder to kill. Not that they were really hard.
Yeah.
But like in the first one, you could hit them maybe twice, and
some of the bosses in this are harder as well.
Definitely.
You had to hit them about 4 or 5 times. I was like, well, it's 3 more punches.
Yeah.
Which I would have killed 2 baddies in the old one.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, this is actually a little bit harder. They've upped the ante.
Yeah, and then Max was introduced as the big wrestler guy, do you remember? That's right. He was fucking awesome.
Mate, he was so fucking jacked.
Yeah,
that guy was on the time. He was on the gas, I guarantee you. He was humongous. It's so ridiculous when you see him compared to the other ones. I'm going to join you, by the way, and I'm going to have to extol about it. I can't hold it in. This is my number 1 as well.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, this is my number 1.
Yeah,
it is absolutely fucking the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage. It's so
far.
good. Yeah, Max was amazing, and he didn't have Adam because I think he was in the first game. We didn't have him.
Yeah, so Skates, Max, and Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze as well. It was just so great. All of them were so good to play as well. Skate was really fast.
That's right,
but didn't hit as hard and had these crazy moves with like fly.
Do you remember
around.
when he jumped on their backs and hit them in the
he did like a Hurricane Rana and
yes,
some
right,
shit.
that's it. Yeah.
And then Blaze was like really balanced. Axel was more strong, and he had that. I always remember his
that
like sliding
combo.
yeah,
that combo, pa, 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 and then he does the combo.
Yeah.
It's such a sick
He's
move.
such a beast. And wasn't there like a special move that you could do that was like strong, but was like sort of medium strong? And then there wasn't there one which hit every enemy, but it cost you health?
Yeah, so basically, if you press A, you would just do a normal standy thing.
Yeah.
But if you press forward and A, it would be around you. What was around you?
Yeah.
But it would be
I remember
affected.
if you missed it or you hit it, you'd lose a bit of health for doing it each time.
Yeah, it stops you using it all the time then, doesn't it? Because you lose health.
Spamming it. But yeah, Streets of Rage 2 is freaking great. This was end of 92, beginning of 93.
Wow, fucking hell.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 2. And apparently, did you guys ever play Final Fight?
Yes.
Yeah, so this was after that. So it was kind of like a response to Capcom's Final Fight. And that was also really good. But yeah, I think this is better than that, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not just my favourite Mega Drive game. I think it's my favourite side-scroll beat-em-up as well.
Yeah, mine too.
It's very close to like the Simpsons and Turtles ones we were talking about, but I think this is the one that, this is why I love side-scrolling beat-em-ups. It's just...
I'm going to have to jump in, because literally, this is the one that I struggled really, really hard with, because like the purist in me like really wanted to put this game in is like, right, Chris, we know this is number 2. We know it's the greatest Mega Drive game of all time, blah, blah. And I was like, but Chris, you didn't play it as much as
the other game.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was like, and it's on my list. It's there on the list. It's like it's. I'm like,
it's the honourable mention.
And where I played it again on the Xbox, and I fell in love with it again. It's just so.
It's great.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, mate.
It's just I didn't play it as much as a kid for it to be on there. But if I'm thinking back, I'll be like, this is easily up there as like the greatest game. If I was going back to play them now, it's just I didn't.
Yeah. The thing was, is when I played it as a kid, it was like it was good. But going back playing it as an adult, I was like, fuck, this is actually a great game. This is like much better. And then last year before, Streets of Rage 4 came out. It's like an updated one of it, and they came into Game Pass, and me and my daughter played the shit out of that.
Is that good?
And it's really good, dude. Very true to the originals and whatnot. But then she was like, I really like this game. I want to play another one. It's like, let's go play number 2. See what you think.
I did like 3.
3 was great too. I like Street 3.
Street 3 is really good, but you know, I never actually owned it because it was one of those times where Sega was jumping from this to Saturn, and then all the games were going up. So I believe it was like £70 to £60 to buy the game at the time. So
wow,
and it was always out rented from Blockbuster, so I couldn't get it from there either.
There's a lot of like everybody scatters with their favourite one, because obviously you were the first one. Sally was like, you've got to put Streets of Rage 1 on. I'm like, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 2
being...
I mean, don't get me wrong, I would happily have Streets 2 on there. Because
Streets 1 is good,
I was
though.
like, Streets 2 is better. 100%.
Play it now, it'd be like the greatest games on the Mega Drive.
Right, yeah.
It's on there. It's just...
You didn't play it as much as the other games. Right? That's fair enough, mate.
That's fine, mate.
But
it's definitely so good. It's easily number 1 or 2.
Yeah, it's absolutely banging. The soundtrack is obscenely fucking good. It's so good. It's the same composer as Shinobi.
Okay.
So they brought that composer in, and he did a banging job. It's again just like massive bass lines everywhere. It's such a good soundtrack.
Yeah, I can't say anything more on it, really, to be honest. It's the best, in my opinion.
Really good choice.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
They did like grappling in it as well, right? So I remember like the wrestler guy, Max, doing just the most savage German suplexes on people.
Some of the dives they did, like forward punch, would do like these epic, like Max, he would do this massive dash and it'd just fuck up everything in front of you. It's such a killer move.
I can't remember if it was Streets, but there was a side-scrolling beat-em-up that had a character that wore American wrestling pants and had the old Hulk Hogan mustache and hair.
That's Final Fight.
Well, that was Final Fight. Yeah. I always remember that character. I remember it being part of a game.
And he was the mayor of that town, by the way.
Was he? That's right.
Yeah, he's the mayor of that town.
It's so funny. It's
cleaning the streets.
Hench's mayor. Like the enemy that I hated the worst in Streets of Rage 2 was the guys that had a knife and just ran across the screen.
Yeah.
Do you remember those? They just ran with like a knife sticking out. So annoying because they'd catch you in the middle of doing a move against some other guy.
And you knew he was coming as well because he comes from the corner.
And just runs with like just slams you over.
In number 2, though, there's like a sub sort of boss in it, and he's a guy that throws knives.
Yeah.
And he used to piss me off. So every time he hit you, he'd go like that. And I was like, I'm going to fuck you up.
It was like,
but every time he hit you, it would make that sound.
Those bosses are the ones on the lift when you're going up and down.
Yeah.
And you had to chuck him off. There was a couple of enemies on that were just Can't remember what they were, but I just remember they were.
Do you remember Pop, when you get to the baseball station and then the lift goes down?
Yeah.
It goes down for fucking ever.
That's the one I'm on about. You
Yeah.
got to throw them. Oh yeah, and you're just on there. And you're like, I need health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's those turkeys and random
No,
hams.
someone
Like
chuck
that.
it down.
That's it, yeah. But like all of the major characters had like multiple health bars, didn't they? So you'd have to beat them down multiple times before they actually went down. It was wicked. You had Mr. X and the Syndicate.
That's it, yeah.
It's like you got to go and beat them at the end of the game.
it.
And like he's just like sitting in a chair and he keeps sending all his lieutenants in to try and beat you up. So you beat the shit out of all of them.
It's gotta be like
Did you ever do like a level where you've got like them all around you, then some random geezer comes on the bike and completely fucking knocks you off? Bastard!
You could always pick up there's weapons in this game.
That's
as well.
right, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like fucking swords and stuff.
Yeah.
Stab him. It's
Again.
crazy.
Right, just happily next to the turkey. You're like,
Yeah.
There's like a katana right next to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Do I slice the turkey or eat it?
Favourite character? Street Race 2?
Axel by far. And
Yeah.
his moves are devastating.
I think Axel.
Yeah, he was kind of the lead character. Like, I just liked that.
What was the girl's name? Is it
Blaze.
Blaze. She had a Hadouken in this one.
I did like.
as well.
I did like the girl.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I did. Always played the girls first. Tenchu.
Yeah.
Always.
Tenchu was banging. We'll come to that
Another episode.
But
James, you wish
another
to
little
come back?
factoid, it was a 16 megabyte cart, that game. So you imagine how small that is these days.
Jesus.
16 megabytes. Which
Nothing
is,
nowadays. That's a porn video.
It's not even that. And that's
a GIF.
It's a GIF, mate. Yeah, exactly. It's 4 times bigger than the original Streets of Rage.
Wow.
It's only
What?
4 megabytes, mate.
Crazy how they get away with all
They
that.
made everything like more colourful, just bigger.
Yeah.
Just everything was better in Streets of Rage 2. It was like just that much better. They put that much more memory in.
All
the
in
fucking
16
cartridge.
megabytes.
Oh, but all in 16 megabytes. Yeah,
And then you've got fucking Call of Duty with 120, gigabyte update.
Yeah.
Stupid.
yeah.
Like I say, it's one of those things. I know. Just before I go on to my one, but
Yeah.
it's just one of those things like knowing that I can play literally every single
Game we've
retro
mentioned on
game
that.
Yeah.
on my
basically,
mobile
yeah.
phone, and it have no problem whatsoever.
What a
It
world
won't
we
even
live in,
take
eh?
up memory. It's mental.
And you can save them.
And you can
Yeah,
save them now.
exactly.
God bless the world of emulators.
Exactly.
Oh.
Go on in, Jace. Take it home. Number one,
Okay,
sir.
I think my number one is pretty predictable, and I am going to cheat with this. I'm including all of the Sonic games up to number 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Sonic 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will agree with you guys
got
right
the
now.
bumper
Say
box.
Sonic number 2 was the best,
Yeah.
hands down. But my favourite character in the Sonic series, the comic books, the TV series, everything has always been Knuckles.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I had to ensure
Nice.
that Sonic and Knuckles was in there. And as I said, knowing that you could go back to number 2 and 3,
Playing as him.
playing as
Yes.
him, they became the best games around because I could play with Knuckles
Nice.
in there. And it was so good. And it took the number one slot mainly because of when you say to someone, name a Sega game, Sonic.
Yeah. He's
Straight
the,
away.
he's the mascot, isn't he?
Straight away.
Yeah.
He is the mascot. And that, for me, was a good enough reason for me to go, do you know what? It deserves number 1.
Knuckles was badass. He just
Yeah.
looked so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Do
just
you remember Knuckles, Sonic, when you can climb the walls of him, you can glide
Yeah.
and stuff?
Oh,
it was
good.
kick-ass, mate.
Yeah.
The slide.
Didn't he just punch enemies? Or have I imagined that? What did he do to attack them? Was it the same as like Sonic?
He pretty much.
I've never really played it.
He could do the spinning
Oh, good.
thing, but
Yeah.
he
He was never as fast, though, was he?
Would, I think in the much later games, he would punch people.
Right.
That's when he went 3D.
But same with all of the other ones. To kill something, you just jumped on top of it.
Oh, same as everything else. Yeah. Turn it into a ball and jump on him, yeah.
But yeah, it was that whole thing of like going back to like number 2 with Knuckles, and it was like, hang on a minute, I can fucking climb, and there's a whole different level up here.
yeah, because you kind of forget, like, oh shit, how am I supposed to get up there? There's no
Yeah.
trampoline or anything. Oh, fuck, I can climb.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And it does make you wonder, it's like, did they know about this all that? Because it was, 2-3 years
Yeah.
before that game came out. It's like, did they know this was coming that far in advance? Which then makes you wonder, like, bloody hell, the technology actually was there all that time. But yeah, Sonic, it deserves it because
Yeah.
of how...
Because it was
popular
great.
it
He's
is.
the guy at the end of the day, yeah.
It was great, mate. It was just great.
Was there ever a person that ever had a Sonic game with the Mega Drive? It's like you had to have it. It was one, even if it was just one of them, you had to have
I think
a...
eventually
came
it was
with it.
included. Eventually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
My mind was, that's why I picked it.
Sonic
Yeah.
2, like, the moment you said it came with it, I was like,
Mine came with the console, yeah.
Because I remember having it.
Was
pretty
it built
much-
in, or was it like
No.
a
Nah,
cartridge?
it was a single,
Like
yeah,
cartridge,
cartridge.
yeah.
everything.
Because the box had that. it had like a red and a big 2 in the back. Oh, I just looked quality. But I remember
Dr. Robotnik over the top of it. Yeah, kick-ass poster.
There's a.
I remember, definitely getting it, and it was part of the package. But you definitely,
Nice.
And just going back to what you were saying earlier about when you're opening that present and you get the corn and there's that blue. It didn't matter what that game was. It was like you knew it was a Mega Drive game.
New game.
You knew you were going to have a good
New game day. New game day is best day.
Yeah.
Be honest, so every time you put the Sonic, if you got a new Sonic game, was you waiting for the Sega to come out?
Yeah,
of course.
But then there was like, when you had them all on your shelf because they all had corresponding boxes where everything worked properly.
Yeah.
It's not like now where the artwork changes all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was uniform.
Yeah.
It looked amazing.
100%, mate.
And just everything about the Sega Mega Drive and Sega in general. Like, I mean,
I'm kind of gutted they're out of business personally.
I am, but they did dive bomb.
Well, they're doing software now, aren't they?
They still make games, but
software.
it's just kind of gutted that they're gone. Because I don't think I know anyone else that had it, but I had a Dreamcast, and I think it's one of the best ones they ever did after the Mega Drive was the Dreamcast. Was so good.
Mate.
I just never.
I had Fantasy Star Online. It was great.
What a game,
mate.
Yeah,
it was great.
I just needed to change like arcade. Get the takeaway. We wanted more than an arcade game because we wanted to play it for more than 2 days or a day.
Yeah.
Was it House of the Dead 2? You complete that in
what a game!
Complete it in a
so
day.
Good on the Dreamcast.
Crazy Taxi.
We'll do the Dreamcast episode. I could do one of those as well.
Nice. Get back to the Dreamcast. Right. So good top 5s, guys. Amazing. Couple of clashes, but any honourable mentions?
Yeah,
go for it.
Where do we start? Have you got a few, Chris, on your mind?
I would really like to put obviously The Lion King.
Yeah,
I really felt bad not having that actually on there, because that with Aladdin, so much fun.
Yeah,
so much stresses during the Stampede. If you haven't done the Stampede, you haven't died.
Yeah.
There was a Turtles game. I can't remember which one it was.
The Hyperstone Heist.
Was it that one?
Yeah, basically Turtles in Time, but for Mega Drive.
Yeah. So I couldn't remember which one it was, and I wasn't going to talk about the wrong one. International Superstar Soccer.
ISS, yeah, man.
Yeah, Skitching, Snake, Rattle and Roll.
I remember that.
What a game.
There was a game called Flashback, and this is the one that I looked at. And then I was like, the level was so hard, I don't think I ever got past level 1.
That was when it was sort of animated, wasn't it? And 3D blocks sort of thing.
You had to do this in the first level, and this in the first level, and this is... And I was thinking, there's no
Instant
way...
death.
There's no way I was doing that as a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So, I love that. Road Rash 2.
Yeah, Road Rash.
Mickey Mouse Castles of Illusion.
That was a good one, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I think that was also Virgin Interactive.
And obviously NBA Jam, which you put in...
NBA Jam's banging, yeah. But yeah.
Oh, and obviously, I don't know, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo...
It was good on the Mega Drive. You have to admit, it was good.
Yeah.
Providing you had the 6-button joystick controller for it, it would be awesome.
I played Super Street Fighter or whatever, however many, as much as pretty much Mortal Kombat, but I never as enjoyed it as much as it was just, I played that so much to death. And obviously, Street Fighter 3 in the arcade.
Wow, so good.
Cammy.
Yes, man.
Oh.
We're going to go around?
Yeah, man, go for it.
So very quickly, Alter Beast.
That's another
has one of the best resurrection quotes ever. Rise from the grave. I never even knew what he said all my life. Rise from the grave. Rise from the grave.
It's only as you get later on where you get TVs with better speakers where you can just about catch it.
Alter Beast
is
phenomenal.
I need it as a message tone. It'd be fucking awesome. Eternal Champions. Anyone play that? Remember that? It was essentially Street Fighter, but Sega's version of it. You could be like certain characters like a woman in all dominatrix gear, Gambit looking guy sort of thing. You'll probably know it when you see the poster. You'll recognise it. Comics Zone.
Yes.
Anyone remember that?
That fighting one where you go through the screens.
That tested the limit on the Mega Drive big time. When you
that
drew the enemies on everything.
That was a later game.
Very later towards the end. Strider. Anyone remember that at all?
Nope. Not Strider, mate.
No, that was a good one. The Jurassic Park that came out for the Mega Drive.
No, dude.
That was amazing. So you could play as either Dr. Grant or the Velociraptor.
Nice.
But do you remember the beginning of Sega games? It would go Sega.
Yes.
In this one, it would have T-Rex and go Sega.
I remember
That's
that.
incredible.
Yep.
Love that. That's
Kid
amazing.
Chameleon is another one. Where you could be like a simple platformer, but you collect so many things. You could be like a samurai or some type of warrior, whatnot. That was a good one. Echo the Dolphin.
Echoes on my honourable
Toe
mentions
Jam
list.
and Earl.
That's another one of my honourable mentions. I didn't get to
And-
play enough, really. That's a problem.
That's it. And Moonwalker.
Batman. Did you play Batman?
No, do you know what? I never, not until later in my gaming life, I didn't even know there was a Batman for the Mega Drive. I knew it was a Batman Returns, but not Batman.
E.T. Is that not making the list?
Fuck no. Your turn, sir.
Worst game of all time, wasn't it?
It is the worst game of all time.
I just want to mention Desert Strike.
Yeah, the helicopter.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like an isometric
Helicopter.
shooter game, and you had an Apache helicopter.
That's
and you
it.
Yeah, there was like 3 different incantations, wasn't there? You had like
Is it
the
a few of them,
Jungle
didn't they?
Strike.
Jungle Strike.
Jungle
was
Strike,
there.
Desert Strike.
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the third one was, but
Urban. Urban Strike.
Urban Strike.
Urban.
Yeah, that's right. So that was just amazing, just flying around in an Apache
Shooting
helicopter.
shit, yeah.
Shooting
Like,
shit,
so
yeah.
fucking good. Toe Jam and Noel, you
Yeah,
mentioned.
yeah.
I didn't get to play it enough to really rate it. I only played it a little bit, and I was watching a little bit of it, and the soundtrack is ridiculously good. It's so good. Moonwalker was amazing.
Yeah, come on.
Let's
It's
go.
not too
Moonwalker
bad.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, that was good.
Woo!
And also, I didn't hear anyone talk about
Make
Ghouls
it do
and
the
Ghosts.
dance.
About what, sorry?
Ghouls and Ghosts. Although it might have been on the
Yes,
Super
of
NES
course.
game, but
Yeah.
Ghouls and Ghosts was an absolutely banging.
It's
brutal.
fucking hard.
Brutal
Come on,
platformer.
man.
So that's all my honourable mentions.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson's Moonwalker
Yeah,
was 100% had to be on there. Earthworm Jim was huge for me. I absolutely love that one. The Ghostbusters game.
Yes, it's the best one, I think, on the Mega Drive.
I would
Yeah.
completely agree. The original one, yeah. Alex Kidd, I know it wasn't
Alex
an
Kidd.
original one on there,
But it did come out onto it, yeah.
It did. That was really good. Street Fighter. I loved Street Fighter on
Oh, it's
Mega
a
Drive.
champion
That was
edition,
Super
wasn't it?
Nintendo instead of Mega Drive. I don't know why.
Say it again?
I always associate Street Fighter with Super Nintendo.
It was though.
Yeah.
Sega didn't do it till very late in the
So
Mega Drive
for me,
era.
At least, for me, I always played it then. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, obviously Golden Axe was on there.
Nice.
all 3 of them. And we was talking to you about it the other day actually. A really underrated game for me was Bubsy.
Yes.
Bubsy,
Yeah.
where you were playing
Bubsy the
some
Bobcat.
Yeah, where you're playing some really lanky cat who's going around nicking yarn balls from everywhere. Again, my family loved it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it, and when I think about Sega, I remember that game. I also remember it being terrible, but I remember it.
Nice.
Which, considering, we were talking about how many games there were.
That's right.
When I was looking earlier, I think it was something like 847 games
It's
were released for a combination between the
And
Genesis
as I say, there were some of them on that and the Super Nintendo, but it's getting which one was better, which one ran better, or whatnot.
But 847 games for a single console, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it was
a
a great
really
success.
good run.
It was a success, really. I just like that era of consoles because there wasn't any online. They were sort of, some ways, kind of like board games. They'd force you to go see someone and then both sit in the same room and play games. Which
I
is quite
liked it
nice.
because it was the pinnacle of technology. Like, you're looking at it now, and obviously PS5 is pretty much the pinnacle of like graphics and stuff, and
Yeah.
that was the Mega Drive. And you had it.
Yeah. That
Like
was
you
the
said,
one.
No one can really appreciate the Mega Drive now.
Yeah.
If you tried to show them now, they'd be like,
What's this?
it's dated, it's old, it's
Yeah.
you can't
Can't explain what it was like at the time, mate. Yeah.
how
so
it
good.
made you feel.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
you're right in what you said earlier. It's like you were the cool kid if you had the Mega Drive.
That's it.
Mate,
Yeah.
it's like all black. It looked like a weapon. It was great.
The good thing about both of them was that you weren't shunned. Like,
No.
if you went, I got a Nintendo, they go,
Oh.
No, it's just like, we want to play Nintendo today, so we're
Yeah.
going to his house.
Just go his house, yeah.
his house. It was like,
It's just that the majority of the time you were at my house because I had the Mega Drive.
This is it.
I got an ab.
I own you.
Yes, mate. Yeah. God.
Nice. Thank you guys for that episode.
No,
I
thank
think we
you.
got through quite a few there
Yes, man.
and relived some memories with that one.
Oh, hell yeah.
I thought there was going to be more clashy.
Yeah, me too.
I thought we'd done very well.
Yeah, it was only a couple.
I thought we were going to be okay because we weren't all in the same gaming circles. Like that.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
thought
That's what I'm saying. It was nice to hear
Yeah.
the opposite side to where, it wasn't as early for Jason as it was for us. But, we still did pretty well.
It's good, mate.
Yes.
One more quick plugs for your podcast and then we'll call it a night, guys.
You can find Bored Stupid anywhere you can find your favourite podcast, almost anywhere on the internet. But as we keep saying, not OnlyFans. At least not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, sexy ball game.
Spelled, yeah, exactly.
Oh, sexy meeple.
As Tom said, it's just like really spuriously placed meeples and pieces, just like around the place.
Oh, he's taken off the shrink wrap. Oh, so
my God,
fucking sexy.
Reading the rules in a sexy voice.
That's it.
Exactly, yeah, like ASMR.
Roll the
Just like-
dice.
Touching myself to the wingspan instructions.
Place your worker on the space.
Not this space.
Not this.
Wrong space.
Jason, where can we find you, sir?
You can find us on all of your good audio streaming platforms. We are also on YouTube, but unlike them, we don't actually do videos. So you can just hear the audio podcast there. But yeah, basically.
Hear that? Them.
Them people.
I was
people.
pointing. I was pointing. It's fine.
You people.
You
People.
But yeah, anywhere you can find downloadable audio stuff, you'll find us as well. Meeple Minded. And and Bored Stupid at the same time.
Nice.
Give them both a follow.
Do it, mate.
And Chris, thanks for coming on again, mate.
No, thank you for having me.
So we'll finish.
Subscribe to his podcast.
Subscribe to him. Oh, no, you subscribe to us, Jay.
I'm always subscribed all round.
Oh,
subscribe to the M.T.V.B. podcast
as well. And also,
Thank you.
If you haven't, I don't know what you're doing here. If you're over here listening to your mates and you go, what's this? It's the M.T.V.B. podcast.
and if you want to hear Mr. Ant's and Mr. Jason's top 10 board games of all time,
here we are.
Oh, yes.
Come and listen to Board Stupid.
Yeah, nice.
My list may have changed since then.
It has.
Better.
Yes, I wasn't invited.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
If you had a
Moving
podcast,
There we had a podcast.
On that note, we'll finish it there, guys. If you like what we listen to, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B. Podcast, on Instagram at M.T.V.B. Podcast, or on TikTok at M.T.V.B. Podcast 197. I be Ant-Man, followed by
Wayne.
Jason.
Chris.
And on that note, guys, remember, Mega Drive does what Nintendo don't. Good night.
Boy.